Okay. 7:06. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you're right. We can't see it from.
We have to do previous minutes first.
No, I meant when we start.
Yes, yes, definitely.
I do not have the minutes, they're all typed up and everything, but I
Okay.
have questions about how we're supposed to go into and out of non-public,
Okay,
whether we have to seal them and
Oh, how
everything,
it looks.
so right,
so we'll do minutes.
Yeah, so
We'll
we-
save them.
they're done. Thank you, Janine, for emailing them, they're all typed up. I haven't sent them to Karen yet, because I have that question, like when we go into and come out of, because those have to be sealed,
Yes.
so.
Okay.
I think when I've seen them before in Board of Selectmen, it literally just says motion to go in and gives the time.
Right. Well, that's the thing is, like, do we need the RSA? Because like, if you look at the school board minutes, they have the RSA that they're quoting to do non-public and then sealing them per RSA. So I don't have that information yet, so I will get that
Okay.
ASAP, and they will be here for next, I'll email them out and then have them ready for the next meeting.
Okay. So, Eagle Project.
So get some samples.
Yeah, I got
I have my
Couple of
keychain in the
things.
car.
Oh, neat. Alright. And I have some keychains I can just show you guys, just in case of, like, a little refresher thing. Okay, so first, I just want to update you guys on the progress I've made so far. So, I've gotten through selling basically most of my keychains. So, I got enough funds to buy all the materials for the picnic tables at this point.
Nice.
And I was lucky enough to have the help from a bunch of people, friends, scouts, NHS members, etc. And we were able to build 6 picnic tables.
They're already built?
They're already built.
Sent us some
Wow.
pictures.
I didn't
Yeah,
get it.
actually-
Great.
Yeah, they look good.
Perfect.
Well,
didn't get it.
just in case you guys might not have the pictures.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I remember this one was in the trailers.
Yeah. And so right now what I'm working on is the painting. So I remember we talked about this way back January? No, December. Something like that. Anyways, we mentioned blue and red. So
The locations, yeah.
I ended up going out to Country 3 and I tried grabbing some good blue and red colors. Because, I mean, blue and red, there's like a million different colors of
Yeah.
red and blue. So.
Those are
Yeah.
I don't remember what color. Do we have a paint match from down at Purington?
The one at Parrington is almost a purpley blue. I actually was over there today.
Yeah, it's darker
It's
than that.
it's even darker than this,
Yeah.
and it's almost purpley, which I was like, yeah, it's purplish. Have you seen it? Like lately?
It's Country Three Corners Navy.
Say,
It says navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not navy, but it might be called
That's what
navy.
they named it. That's
It's
Yeah,
whack-
it's just
whack
like it's like a
painted it, so-
purpley.
so
Yeah,
Purrington.
yeah,
So Purrington is the blue, the navy
yeah.
blue.
It's blue. It's this dark.
Would you happen to have like any old cans that you used to like paint those tables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get the color.
Can't believe that's called navy.
your hair on the right night.
Ah, sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's even darker than that blue.
But it's purple. But the red looks great,
Look
though,
at it,
doesn't
it's
it?
purple.
The red looks
Sunday.
good.
I like the red.
It does. It's weird.
So
I think the red
A
looks.
darker blue would be
That red is
better.
perfect.
It'll show less of the.
Yeah, that'll get dirty quick.
It'll show less of the dirt. So if you
Yeah.
go a darker blue,
Is
No,
it
they're
Yeah.
green.
green at Horace?
Oh yeah, they used to be red.
Yeah, they're green now.
Yes, at the lake.
All right.
So green for Lake Horace.
okay, so how do you want to divide the tables? I guess color wise, because we have 6 tables, and I know we mentioned like 4 locations. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is the color wise, like how many of each color, and yeah.
we wanted 1 down at Purington, right? And then we wanted 2 at Inison, 1 at Bolton, and 2 at Chase Park,
That's 7.
right?
Nope, that's 6.
That's 6.
Yep. So it'd be 1 navy blue, 1 is, it's a hunter green at
Yeah,
like a
it's
hunter
darker-
green?
It's a darker.
So at Chase Park, it'd be 2 hunter green. And then, where do we do the red? Is it
I think-
Bolton has metal picnic tables.
Weren't we trying to do all of the whack things the same blue as at Purington? Yeah.
So no red.
Oh, right at the football field. Are you putting it down at the football field?
Oh, okay.
Bolton.
Or were
At
we gonna?
Bolton.
No, Bolton, I think we were gonna put them up on the, are we doing it at both? I don't remember where we decided to put them at Bolton.
Let's just make Bolton's red.
Okay, that sounds good. Put 'em where we want. All right, so
I think they're better, like in the fall, we could leave them down at the football field.
But you got lacrosse down there too now. You have lacrosse and baseball, so you probably have to put one down on the lacrosse field and then one up on the baseball field.
Where do we
Are
sell
we
the
gonna have
most
the
food?
wax shack up there?
Where?
Yeah,
Baseball?
Bolton?
Yes.
So yeah, by,
wherever Pam's gonna do that. that's-
yeah, wherever Pam's gonna put hers, we'll put the table.
I plan on parking at the end of the third baseline so that they have to walk by me to get,
Smart lady.
either to get to the side of the dugout or to go this way to get to the bathroom.
Yeah. So then Bolton, one down on the bottom by on the lacrosse/football field, and then one up on the third base line.
oh, so if we do 2 on Bolton, then we have to take one away from Inison probably then?
There was
versus
one
away?
Inison, one
One Inison, oh, I wrote it
one Purington, 2 Bolton, 2 Chase.
wrong. Okay. I did it wrong. All right,
Then what's Einson's color gonna be then?
navy.
Navy, okay.
So we'll have 2 red, 2 navy, and 2 hunter.
Huh.
But the
Neat.
2 navy will be split up, one at Inison and one at Purington.
And then the paint samples I can get, like,
So,
when
yeah.
would you say?
So it's actually called Navy at
I just
Country 3?
texted him to find out the color.
Okay.
We got it at Country 3, so.
Oh, neat. That's awesome. I'm going there too. And then, because this is like a project and all that, I'm currently working on laser cutting out a little stencil to use in the works, but this is about the words and the font that will be getting used currently. So if you guys are cool with that font and the what it says, that would be awesome. But if you have something you want to change, please let me know so then I can change it.
So you're gonna stencil it on the tables?
Yep. So what I do is I'll put that up there, then we like spray paint it, and then we can use it on all 6. And it would be put on like that A-frame support beam that you see
Oh,
underneath,
okay.
the really long one. And yeah. Now I gotta go back to my checklist.
The only thing is whether you make it longer so it goes along the whole stencil. So instead of being this
Yep.
wide, it'd be double, basically 3 rows.
Longer?
No, only 3 rows tall, but spread it out more.
Yep.
Wow.
So it fits on so it basically fits on wherever
Like
on
it.
that. Do you have the pictures, Pam?
You wanna pass those back down?
Are you allowed to put your name on it?
I could, yeah. I
You can.
That's really nice.
yeah, I could actually. I'll make a little note of that.
I think you
All
should
the
take
hard
some
work.
credit for it, yeah.
So you're talking going on this bottom, you're talking going on this piece right here, right?
That is correct. Yep.
So
And-
going on there, so that's why I would say making the stencil longer.
But he would have to redo the stencil.
However it
That's a
fits.
sample.
Oh, I'm still working on the stencil, and actually, after talking to my engineering teacher, he actually also recommended making it bigger because if you look at some of the like letters on there, they're not popping out fully, and that's due to
Yeah.
the fact it's so small.
Okay.
That the paint's not gonna,
Yeah. So, yeah, it will become a little bit bigger.
Worst case scenario, you could, well, not, if you didn't wanna make 6 of those, and then you could paint them and attach them, like reverse stencil.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a
You need to
possibility.
make 6, but.
Uh,
That's awesome.
But yeah, I think if you can put your name on there, that would be.
Okay.
Yep, I can definitely work that in. And then, so once the tables are fully painted and built, where do you want them, like, exactly? Do you want us to hold on to them just a little bit longer because of mud and all that, or?
Yeah, probably not before, what, May 1st?
Maybe
When do we start down, when softball start down on?
When the fields are ready?
when it's not muddy anymore.
Yeah.
When was it last year, Stephanie? Do you know?
It's like the last weekend.
Yeah.
It was pretty rainy.
Yeah. So May 1st is the earliest, probably.
Okay.
If it's
or
not
over April vacation week, while he's got some time, which is the last week of April.
Yeah, I got time then.
Depending on when you're done. I mean, if you're not done, then obviously we'll take it whenever.
Lake Forest won't, well, the main gate's open, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, the lakes.
Okay, neat. Alright. So, as I mentioned before, I was still fundraising and all that, and I still am now because I made a bunch of keychains. Which means after I'm done, I might have excess funds, and what that means is I end up giving said excess funds to you. Is there any sort of manner, like check should be made out to, something like that?
We can't take it directly to us, it would have to go to the general fund.
Either that, or you could check. I know that there's tables down at Chase Park that need
Repair.
repair. Just because, if you didn't have enough to do them all, but you have enough that you could replace a bench here or there. I know that there are some down there that need a little TLC.
How much are you anticipating in
Ah.
excess funds?
Yeah.
Well, there's also another factor happening right now. So how Eagle projects work is you have to have it done before your 18th birthday, and that means all the paperwork and etc. I turn 18 on the 24th.
Oh,
Ah.
of the essence.
Yep. So, yeah.
Does that mean they have to be delivered then?
No, I can. They can be stored
Okay.
at my house, so that's okay. Because yeah, as long as you guys are cool with that, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you take any excess money and give it back to your Boy Scout troop?
So there's
Either that or just even cans of paint, because we can use the cans of paint.
Okay.
We can take whatever paint you want to get, because we can.
Certificates to
go-
Country 3.
There's more benches that you can even just go down and paint
Yeah.
benches down there, because I'm sure there's some that just need.
The dugouts, everything's gonna need a little bit of paint, so that would be
Yeah.
perfect. Can take
Okay.
equipment.
Gift certificates to Country 3.
Gift certificates to Country Club.
No, I think it has to be the actual, like,
The actual
item
item.
product, yeah.
Yeah.
Paintbrushes, no.
Right, like, how much are you anticipating? Like, we don't need 43 cans of paint.
No, it's not probably not gonna be that much, because I would say maybe at most it's gotta be maybe like 100, 150 at most. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, a gallon of each color.
Yep.
Okay.
And then last thing I have is, so at the end of the Eagle project, what I need is a signature from you guys saying, hey, this guy, he ended up coming out, he did his best, and we appreciate that.
That's Randy.
He did better than his best.
So on
That's
this
awesome.
neat little form, pass that down. It says beneficiary e-signature right at the bottom, and it has a little note about requirement 5. I gave you the page that explains requirement 5. You don't need to sign this right now. When I send you the picture being like, hey, the tables have been painted.
Yeah, I'm not assigning this
Yep.
till it's painted and
Yep,
we've received paint.
And then once I do all that, and then you do sign it because you think I did do good, you can just take a snapshot on it on your phone and then email it to me. And then, yeah. And as long as it's March 23rd or before, then I can, yeah. Yep.
That's
Okay,
better.
Yeah,
Yep.
I see a trend with the last minute, so
We figured that out over.
I work the same way, so don't worry.
If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done.
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for the donation. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for letting me do it.
Thank you.
Well used.
It's the second Eagle Scout project that this committee has received.
Neat. Yep. Do you guys have any other questions for me?
Great job.
Well, thank you guys
you very
for
much.
your time.
And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes,
And happy birthday.
long,
Yeah.
long road.
The English major in me flipped your eye and your T. So if this was what you were using, just be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no spell check.
Yes, I know.
The laser cutter, well, yeah, you want to keep it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good catch.
Hey, we all missed it.
I did. That's why she's our secretary.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. you, Chris.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And then, you guys want to hang on to these or?
Yeah, hang on, we'll put those with,
Yeah.
we'll put those with the other.
Yeah.
piece. We have it all together.
Filings.
Yes.
You wanna keep them, or do you want Pam to?
They're
oh,
gonna
yeah,
go
put it
here.
together.
They're all together.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Did you get the color of that blue?
I was told there's, the can is in the Parrington shed. Can you check that, Lisa, if you go by there?
Yep.
It's in there.
We can email you probably a picture of the label or something like
Oh,
that,
sweet,
Chris.
that can
And
definitely
they said
work.
they just got it at Country Free.
Oh, okay, yeah, sweet. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
you.
I'm gonna set myself a little reminder for tomorrow morning. Hold on a second, guys. If I don't do it now,
Never get done.
that's right.
True.
When he sent the email of the assembled picnic tables, I'm like, wow, that was really fast. And we just talked about fundraising and keychains, and there's the tables. Oh, well, I guess there was a deadline.
Yeah.
Some people work well in their
My brother did the same thing. He was cutting his right to the very end.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Follow directions.
We ready for field usage?
Alrighty, here we go.
I have almost all of them here, and I have some forms in my email. I think 2 forms in my email, but the rest of it's here. So, who wants to go first?
Who wants to
Baseball?
go home first?
Whatever you want.
All right, I've got lacrosse on top.
Not really.
All right. All right, so, and I wrote everything down yesterday. Bolton Field, soccer fields. We have April 1st to June 15th, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And that was, it's kind of an everyday thing, but it's not every day, because obviously. it's not-
So you said this was the soccer field you were talking about?
This is the
first?
soccer field, yep.
Okay. And that's mostly for your practices, right?
Well, then we also have small field games.
Yeah.
So we have like the U8 and small field U10, which use the smaller, obviously the smaller field, which we use the soccer for.
Okay.
And then
So how big is that soccer? Is it set up at 160?
It's like 60 yards in length by 35 in width, so.
Okay.
It'll definitely fit. We've done it the last 2 years, so.
You could almost probably get 2 on there. If you turn them sideways. Because I know the soccer is like 100 yards by 60.
100, actually.
Depending on how big that one
It's 110
That's
yards.
not full size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 60.
Up there.
But you don't need an extra, plus there's spots, like the back portion of it is better as far as field wise, than usually a lot of scarring up, so we don't need to put 2 fields on there, but we could.
I'm just thinking, if the football field starts getting a lot of wear on it, that you have it set up that you can at least have the first field pushed far enough back that if you had to do a practice over on that soccer field, that you could
Oh, yeah.
use the front side of that.
And then we also, so then the lower field, the football field, with access to the concession stand, of course, for games. So 7:30 to 6:30, no, 8:30 down here, 8:30 p.m.
Same dates?
Same
Same
date.
dates and times?
Oh, I'm sorry, what's that?
Same dates and times for the football field as
April.
the soccer?
Yes, we run practices on the soccer field plus the 1 day per team on the other. So we have, those are obviously later in the evenings, but the games can actually run from 8 a.m. until they have to end by like 6 p.m.
Does he have days a week, or does it just?
Well,
kind of
it's-
all 7 days?
It's going to be when the games are only on weekends, right? Do you have any nighttime
Games are on
ones?
the weekends, mostly on Sundays. We have some Saturdays to take care of. Easter weekend, we play on Saturday instead of Sunday. And then any makeup games, because we know we'll probably get 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
That's how Memorial Day usually rolls.
Now we know who to thank when it happens.
Right.
Rick, did we find out the info about the remote control for the,
I found out the board tonight, and there's actually super simple, exactly, those are the small plaques and they're way high up, but actually just has it blasted across the front. It's called varsity scoreboards and has a number.
Awesome. Are you gonna call about it?
What was that?
Are you going to call about
I
it?
can call about that, yes.
Okay. Then just let us know.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next. Cheer practice. So this came up last night at WAC. They need a place that's a little softer than the than the gazebo area for the kiddos. So we talked about the outfield of the baseball field. Is that still okay? Okay, so Bolton, the Bolton field, outfield. So
But what do we have for practices down on Bolton?
this is going to be
Month of August.
Oh,
the month of
August,
August.
okay.
Yep. So it's it's just the whole month for like 8/3 to 8/27 they have on here from 5 to 8 p.m. So
We're allowed in the school as soon as it opens.
as soon as it opens.
They wax the floors and they're doing stuff in the summer, so they don't want to be in there. in the summer.
Would you say the times were of the day?
5 to 8 p.m.
On 8/23 to win?
Nope, 8/3 to 8/27. And it's for cheer practice. Easy peasy. All right, and then we have softball. Chrissy, games and practices at Inison. You have March 23rd, or when the field is ready. So end of April.
Could be next week.
Yeah, you never know. Through June 27th. And that's weekdays 5 to 8 p.m. and weekends 8 to 6 p.m. So we do have a conflict.
What's our conflict?
The church, remember
The
that church group?
So the conflict is church. So church wants it. The church group had asked for Mondays from 5 to 8 p.m.
Starting one.
So, but that's not, it's the end of June, so it's not, it's only gonna be like that 6/27 day, is that a Monday? Through the end of August.
When does the church start?
The 27th because we do an all-star team and I didn't know if like once in a while they might practice nowhere, but we can work around that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and they're looking, the church group's actually looking for June 15th. So it's,
Only
yeah,
on Mondays.
it's just the Monday, so if all, when does,
Playoffs and the 14th, so
says a
all the teams will be done by then, except if we have an all-star.
yeah, and if we have an all-star
Probably not on a
team,
Monday though, right?
We can.
we're most likely gonna share with another town, so maybe we could move them to either the middle school or to the other town,
Yeah.
if we need to.
Or just not practice on Monday nights?
Well, just if that's the only day that the coach is available, they can go to another place, so.
You said till the end of August?
It will be, the last day that he needs it is the 17th.
Of August?
Yeah.
And it's only Mondays?
He put the 24th on the thing, but he changed it to the 17th. He didn't change it, it's a league.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
So-
Monday evenings, so like
Monday
what, 5
evenings,
to 8 or?
5
what?
to 8.
Okay.
Till August 1.
17th.
Till when? August what?
17th.
Well, okay.
And it's Mondays 5 to 8 p.m.
Yep. So where that's going to run into, and Stephanie and I talked to him about that too. That runs into your 7-8 girls practice, which,
Well, it's my third.
and your
third
3-4
quarter, yeah.
on
Everybody
Mondays.
starts that week.
Yeah. So that one Monday. So, or 2 Mondays,
Yeah,
1 or 2 Mondays
right.
that we have a problem. So
That's all softball needs, is just Inison?
yep, because that's where the softball field is,
Okay. I
aside
don't
from
know
the
why I
school.
thought there was- Okay.
And they need and the thing is, they're gonna use the outfield, which is the soccer fields. So,
Yeah, because they're big, so yeah, the adults will go farther out.
yep. And then so the conflict that's there is with soccer, but if we can use, I've got your form today for, Bolton for the football / soccer field at Bolton, to be able to use that just for 7-8 girls. That's another form, so.
So what do we have for soccer all together?
Oh, it's not all together. There's like 6 forms. Sorry.
So let's get through softball for WAC is be end of April through June 14th,
Yep,
right?
the softball for WAC is no, it's really March
Okay.
through
June 27th.
June 27th is on the form. Yeah,
For softball for Inison.
for Inison, yep. 5 to 8 p.m. on weekdays, and then weekends are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we just might need to shuffle around a little bit to get the church group in there.
Because they put theirs in 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I told him today because we talked today and he said, well, I put it in early so it'd be at the top of the pile. And I said, well, that's not really how it works. I said, everybody needs to share. And we just want them in by the date. So that was what I told him. But obviously it's another group that we'd like to have using the fields if we can. So it's good for the kids. And I don't know, were your kids there when they were doing soccer? I don't remember who was with me.
I don't think so.
We had a soccer practice, and there was a group. Some of those same people were down playing soccer, and they happened. They didn't ask to use the field. They showed up, and they ended up joining the soccer practice, and it was amazing. They had a blast. The adults had more fun than the kids, and the kids just had a ball. But anyway, it was great. So I think the more that we have that group there, the better off we're gonna be. But just might have to shuffle a little bit.
It sounds like it's only maybe a day or two overlap,
Yeah.
really.
I think it'll be okay. And we can move, hopefully, to the middle school if we put in a request, or WAC can move to the middle school, right? If they put in a
I
request.
don't do facilities anymore.
Oh, you're not doing them.
No, that should be fine. Like, our regular season ends the 14th. So
Yeah.
This is just if.
It'll be
if
all-stars.
we do all-star practice there. I don't even know where it will be, but we'll do it Mondays.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm gonna skip concessions for a second, Pam.
Fine.
Just because we're on the topic of soccer.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, one of these forms is in my email, Stephanie, unless you have it with you. I didn't have a printer today. So, on the topic of 7-8,
So is that what we're gonna go over first?
7-8 soccer.
Girls and boys, or just girls?
It wouldn't be just 7-8, it'd be 5-6 are down at that field too.
Okay, hold on a second.
Does soccer need to be like sectioned out by grade, or can they just reserve it for
It's the
soccer?
size of the field.
It's this, yeah, the field
Because
sizes are
they have
all-
3 fields that they use. They use Inison, they use Bolton, and they use Purington.
Purington.
Correct?
So Purington's got 3 separate fields on it for the little kids.
4.
4.
There's 16 teams that usually use that field.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there are 4. I line it. I should know that. And then Inison has,
2, 3, 4
Two.
fields.
and then
And then a
one
big one.
7-8 field. And that's boys and girls use this, boys 7-8 and girls 7-8.
And third and
And-
fourth grade boys, third and fourth grade girls, and then the middle school's been
And the
using
middle
it
school.
last 2 years.
Middle school boys and girls use
They use it
Inison.
for their middle school games.
So it's getting,
They conflict with field hockey.
yeah,
Okay.
or when they, yeah,
That's when the boys and girls, I think.
or
play at
when
the same
they
time.
play at the same time. The boys and girls are,
Oh, they have one soccer.
yeah, so, because there's one soccer field at the middle school.
What's
Right.
the field hockey schedule? They play this.
We don't know yet.
It's
Oh, you don't know yet?
The
for
schedule's-
fall.
No, for a WAC. I think yours.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't have that schedule.
No, I don't have
She
it.
don't have it. None of us get our schedules till the week before they get it.
Oh, okay.
End of August.
So I won't know my schedule until the end of August.
Okay, where was I?
So soccer, when are we starting soccer? On all
August
3
1st?
fields?
Is it August 1st?
Yeah, well, I just go in and line them then, so Ideally, the practices start usually the week of the 10th, depending on the age groups, and the week of the 17th.
So you need it from the 10th on.
So, but I usually go in like the first week of August to line all the fields and everything and get them ready.
And then it goes until October what?
On the hottest day.
And, yeah, on the hottest
She
day.
picks the hottest day.
Like October 31st, just to be safe?
October
Yeah, I do this
31st.
to the end of the month. Some of my fields I'm done within the first week of October. The younger, like Purington, I use the longest.
Mhm.
And then Inison and Bolton is like the last, they're done right at the beginning of October. Because the league sets that schedule, I don't. So they're done the quickest.
So we'll start, where do you want to start? Inison?
Yeah, that's fine. Or Purington's easy.
Okay, we'll do Purington first. Okay, so Purington's, you have August 1st to October 31st from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Obviously, that's weekends. Then there's the after-school time would be, they start, what, around 4 sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes coaches are there earlier, so 4 to 8. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets dark in fall by
Yeah.
6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It shifts, and all
Yeah.
soccer practice
at the
shift.
beginning, they get it till 7, and then come, the end of September, the coaches are out there with headlights at 6:30.
Yes.
So that's what ages?
At that
Those
field,
littles.
preschool through 2nd grade.
Hence the 16 teams.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute.
A lot of interest.
They need glow-in-the-dark soccer balls so they can play later. No.
And they relate to each other though.
They're adorable. They just keep
Glow
playing.
bracelets.
They are adorable.
Okay.
So cute.
Lights.
All right, so that's Purington.
Fundraising's coming.
The gazebo field for soccer, this is a different date, May 8th through May 15th, or May 8th, May 15th, May 22nd, 29th, and June 5th, and it's for those clinics, right?
Yeah, for the challenge
Hold on
that I
a
do every
second.
year.
Okay.
Yep.
Read those again.
It's
May-
every Friday in May,
All right.
May.
And June 5th.
in the first, yeah.
All right. What are the Fridays? May.
8th, 15th,
Yep.
22nd, and 29th.
And what time?
2 to 8.
And June 8th, you said, or June
5th.
Devil's Advocate, penny sale and 5K fun runner Friday the 15th.
That happened last year, and I'll just move them that one day.
Okay.
I think I moved them over to Inison. I moved them somewhere. I'll find somewhere to go.
Okay. That's the gazebo field. They're so cute out there too. When the littles are there.
Yeah.
They're the best.
They are. I'm so sorry I skipped baseball. I did not mean to do that.
I think Scott said he wanted to go last anyway.
It's perfect.
But the only thing on the gazebo field is you gotta make sure they're putting everybody's parking in the parking lot, because I know you've got the middle school, they have games on for baseball, or
Yeah,
they
they
sneak
need
into the whack, even though it's,
They limit them to like 10 kids, so it's not it's not a high traffic group.
Yeah, it's just a few cars.
Yeah, so they'll park, they all like to park right there at where those little spots are anyways.
All right. So, I'll go to Inison. August 1st to October 31st. 8 to 8, although it gets dark early there too.
Yeah, I won't get it till 8.
Yeah. Trying to find your email.
And Bolton soccer is the same times.
Yep, I've got Bolton's on the what has been used for soccer field up there,
Yeah,
and that's grades. What is that? Fifth, 4, 5,
5, 6.
5, 6. So that's right, 5, 6.
Right.
Boys and girls.
Yeah.
Hold on, are we still in Inison?
No, we moved on to Bolton.
Inison is 3rd and 4th grade and 7th and 8th grade.
The problem with 7th and 8th grade, so that's where we're having the request for the what we call the football field, right? Down at Bolton.
I just want to use, like last year for Bolton soccer, I had so many teams for 5th and 6th grade
Yep.
again, like I had a lot of groups. So I had 3 teams during nights sharing that field. which 5th and 6th graders, they're not little preschoolers anymore, so they take up a lot of the field, they can kick the ball. I wanted to be able to move, you know, like one of my coaches, Randy, he can just use cones and they can just go on the football field and just spread out the kids, because those groups are large, they could be 12 kids per team. Now when you got 35 kids on the field, boys or girls, like they're everywhere.
I would say yes, but and not anything Thursday or Friday nights, because I know football, they try to go down in line and they usually leave themselves time to try to do it on Thursday.
Where is football?
They didn't do a field use for
We don't have anything
They
for
didn't
field
do it
usage
for-
right now, so.
For football?
What days are the games?
They're at Stark.
Their games, so for 5th and 6th grade, where they play, the boys play on Tuesdays, the girls play on Thursdays. So then they usually practice like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending on the nights. They go opposite nights.
So so
So I just want to be able to, like, I don't know how my schedule's going to be right
Yes,
now. I mean,
because
I
you don't
know
have the-
5th and 6th grade teams. I don't know.
yeah.
But if I get stuck again with 3 or 4 teams, I want to be able to just move a coach down for a night just to say, you practice over here so we don't have 30 kids on one
Yeah,
field.
that was a little bit crazy last year because I was down there lining a couple times.
I did talk to Henniker last year, and I did send a couple of my teams. I know Janine had to, because you were one of my 5th and 6th grade groups.
Yep.
So
Both of
instead-
my kids spent a lot of time at Henniker.
Had I had another option and could have put you on the football field for an hour,
Yep.
I would have done that. I didn't have any other option, so I was sending parents to Henniker 2 nights a week. So it would be nice just,
Yes.
you know.
And it was
when-
the boys and the girls, both went to
Yeah.
Henniker.
I had to, yeah. And when parents were all looking down, they're like, why can't we just go over there with some cones right now? I'm like, well, sorry. And now you guys are driving 20 minutes in the other direction.
Well, the other thing is could we'll have to talk to the middle school whether we can use their field after 6 p.m.
Field
Then-
hockey has it. They use it every night after, their group has 100 kids in field hockey, and they're using it once the middle school's off.
Thank God, because otherwise they'd be here asking for
Correct.
these
So
fields.
Softball was
instead-
the only time we really got to use the middle school.
Right, so instead, yeah, field hockey has it over there. So those fields are out, because I would have moved them there too. And Kristen did let me use it a couple times for games. I had to switch them
Yeah, we
over.
practiced at the middle school probably like twice.
Right, so if I tried to find different locations and be resourceful, like I
You did a good
called
job.
Henniker, I called the middle school, Kristen was good letting me, so I was calling coaches last minute going, hey, I found a field for you, you can go to the middle school now and call your
Yeah.
parents. I'm sorry.
Do you have all right, so which days of the week do you need that,
I mean, if
The
I
other
need to
field?
use it, on Friday to line it, whatever, I did Monday through Thursday, that's
it,
fine.
yeah, it didn't pop
I
up
can
on
work
mine.
around 'em. I just
So-
need some extra,
Monday through
Area.
Thursday for practices, and then games for the 7-8.
yeah, I won't use it for games.
Okay.
So,
Well, they also, I know on the end of Bolton Field after the football, there's enough space that they could be there if they're trying to line the field, that they could
Right,
go
yeah,
and
there are,
Yeah, because they don't
There's-
need the full field
so
necessarily.
anyway, the goals
Just lines
too,
around the
at,
poles.
I do.
on
I'm
the
like,
football
move.
fields, they are they are set up to put soccer nets on them, on the uprights.
Yeah. Well, it's a multi-purpose field,
Right.
really. Right?
5-6 still needs the upper soccer field at Bolton, right? Just
Yeah,
like regular?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So 5-6 is upper.
And then the football field for practices Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
is
I know,
there
like, football doesn't have game every single weekend, but if they had a game, I could work with them. I know they don't have home games every Saturday.
We haven't heard from them yet. They might have made other plans. We have no idea.
Right, so, yeah.
Have you touched, or have Bishop Hards touched base with you? Or
I have
anybody?
not heard from anybody. I don't know them, and
So-
nobody has reached out to
So
me.
how many soccer fields do we actually have down at Bolton? Just the one?
We have 2 soccer fields because the football field is supposed to be a multi-purpose. It's got end cap.
Right, it's got the goals.
Goals
Right.
for soccer.
And then
and
the
then
one
the
on the
other-
other side.
The one on
but
the
what
other side
about,
that we use.
what about the baseball field?
I don't think
It's
they've
not
ever
set
done
up for soccer up
no.
there.
It's not a big enough outfield, I don't
No.
think.
But
for-
you could use that for practice if you had to.
They can, although I will say that a lot of times football's up there practicing.
Yeah,
Football,
flag football
They
was
use,
up there a lot,
they're up
wasn't
there
it?
a lot when I'm there lining
If they-
fields. They're up there.
Okay.
practicing.
There was an adult football pickup.
Because they're on both, sometimes they're up in the
There-
outfield and sometimes they're out in
When we
the.
were doing soccer at Bolton, there was an adult pickup something, I remember, cause you'd see.
When was
Okay,
that?
I was gonna say, well, it was soccer, so it was fall.
Oh, maybe soccer.
It was soccer time, we were on the upper soccer field, so we were doing 5-6 Bolton soccer. And every once in a while, you'd see like 15 cars and adults going up to the upper, I didn't watch, I was watching the soccer, so it was sometimes, so frisbee or something
Really
like
did
that?
some like pick up frisbee, ultimate frisbee
Maybe.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Lisa, I think, would you mind trying to reach out to football, because I don't want there to be, if they're new people.
I
and they
don't mind,
know-
I don't know them.
Like contact
I mean, they know to
anything?
contact the town, right? Because she's emailed me everything that's come in from everybody else.
I think
'Cause
it's
people
new
are-
people there too, maybe they don't know.
They don't, yeah, do you have phone numbers?
I have,
Or emails.
I'm on their website, or their mobile site. And you can contact them through there. I don't think there's no phone numbers
They
listed.
do
Okay.
email?
Oh, wait, they do, there's a phone.
Hold on a second.
Do you want the phone? And then there's an email.
All right, I'll do email. And
Okay.
that way we can send it out. Hold on a second.
That way you're not catching something.
But it looks like it's a pretty new board, so.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
there's-
because Paul's done.
Right, it's the, it's the Chapards that seem, that are doing it.
What's the web, what's
I
their
would
web?
think that they would know.
The email,
Or no, what's their website?
jsgfca.org. Yeah, I think the only person coming back are the Drables and DeToni.
No, the Detones.
From
Yeah.
last year? That's quite a turnover.
The
Sounds
other
like
names I
us.
don't.
We just,
The 561.
what's the email? I'll write it down too.
Where'd it go? Right there. JS Generals.
I'm gonna write it down too, because I can't find it. My phone's not really cooperating with the.
Yeah, jsgenerals@yahoo.com.
Yep.
603-234-6534.
No, I have a different number.
I'm on their org page. I'm on their org page,
Oh, right there.
or their whatever.
Oh, yeah,
.org.
520-8629.
Yeah, she's got a
Yeah.
520-8629 on their website.
Got it.
Is it red? Is the
Yeah.
website red?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it the 2021?
Oh,
Does it say register for 2021?
Is there
Yeah.
another number up higher? He was looking at that.
You're good. Okay, so
Yeah.
I will send them an email.
oh yeah. There's two different numbers because there's one down in red in contact, and then if you scroll up,
Yeah, we've got it. I
there's
got it.
one in white too.
Okay.
We believe you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll reach out to them.
All right, so we'll get football to send it in. Let's go back to soccer so we can get them done, and then go on to baseball. And
That was it for soccer.
Okay.
All right, next, Pam.
I want to do Scott.
You want to do baseball?
Oh, I thought he wanted to be last. All right.
Baseball's up.
Baseball, go ahead.
All right, baseball, hold on.
I have Bolton
That way they can
Field,
leave.
Purington, when the fields are ready, until the 27th of June from 8 to 8. Done.
You talk way too fast.
Who does? I do
You,
not.
April 1st till, what's the last day?
27th
When
of
ready.
June.
It's when ready in
When
March.
ready.
It could be an early.
We could, yeah, we could.
I mean, things are thawing out quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna in like a lamb, out like a lion. Remember. Set
No, in
another
like
up.
a
I'm
lion.
setting.
And out like a lamb, other way around.
No, it came in like a lamb. It's gonna go out like a lion.
No, it was windy.
March? No, if it,
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Okay.
we had no snow at the beginning of March.
All right, baseball.
And then
Baseball?
baseball?
Yeah, there's only two baseball fields in town.
Alrighty.
you know, because they also
Did
use.
you want it to be easy or?
We're just not used to it anymore.
No, they also use the middle school fields,
Right,
and they sometimes
Yes, it's
go in
already
high
done.
school.
But that's not us.
Turned in.
We're not the middle school.
thank
I had to do
heavens.
that last week.
All right.
All right, concession.
Concessions wanting Purington, Inniston, and Bolton Fields
Yeah.
from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday through Saturday, all week.
I really don't want the building at Bolton. I just want permission to put my trailer down there.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, if football doesn't, if they end up moving somewhere.
No, I
it might be-
don't want to use the building. I want to use my trailer.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's got a beautiful new trailer.
I will
So,
have a beautiful trailer.
are you doing just like March, like now until
I'm doing when
October?
lacrosse games start until soccer is done.
All right,
So it should be April 1 to
April
October
1?
31st.
Okay.
Yep.
How long?
So are you planning to leave the trailer down there?
It'll be
Absolutely not.
transported
Call.
and it will
Very
be
good call.
stored in a nice,
That's
safe
why Craig
place.
does it.
My voluntold
Husband.
husband will be transporting it. I had to hire a volunteer.
It's perfect.
Should we get him a uniform?
Sure.
It says
Sucker.
Oh,
I think I sent it to you once.
says great
For
guy.
what?
Baseball? Or did I not?
I have to check. I will
I
check.
think I'm just gonna go ahead and email football right now.
There you go, my hat's from.
I can check the system.
Send my name.
What we're gonna need though, Pam, is the hours and locations when you're actually at the snack shack. So when we need a hot dog or a hot dog, you know where you want.
I will be wherever there is a game. There will be a concession stand open. Whether I am physically there,
Right?
What's gonna happen if there's a game at Purington? You'll have that one set up, and
I will run
and
Purington,
and a game at Bolton.
my-
Then your trailer will be at Bolton.
and Craig will be running the trailer.
Okay.
But it,
So you want the concession stand at Purington then?
I want the concession stand at Purington, the concession stand at Inniston, and.
Permission to park her trailer wherever she needs to park it.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, wasn't Horace like, not
4th of July.
Fourth of July?
4th of July, I was gonna do that.
That can be your fundraiser.
Yep. And then Josh's scout troop is doing a yard sale in August. And the yard sale committee was surprised to find out that the group that they were gonna ask to come do their concessions doesn't own their trailer anymore, cause we own it.
Oh.
So I might go down to Merrimack and do concessions. at the-
Nice.
All right, nice.
Oh, they had grand plans for the Knights of Columbus to have their trailer and everything, and I said, wait a second,
We sold our
you
trailer.
do realize that I have their trailer in my driveway right now? And they're like, how did you get it? I bought it.
Magic.
So, yeah.
If you buy 3 hot dogs, the trailer comes free. What
Yeah.
can I say? It means it's-
It's a
If
repo.
you're gonna do the 4th of July, the advertisement beforehand,
Oh,
so
yeah.
people know not to bring snacks, they can
Yeah.
buy them there.
No one can resist my hot dogs and ring pops, so.
Who was it that tried to sell water or something and they didn't sell us?
The robotics team.
Robotics.
Robotics team.
That surprised me.
Are you bringing the Whack-mobile to like, the middle school for like rookie games and stuff too? Oh, cool.
If it fits the schedule, yes.
She's busy
Gonna wake
lady.
up, where's the trailer going?
Gonna have like a big chart in the living room.
Who's going where, what day?
Color coded.
Yeah.
The only thing is I know parking's very, very tight on July 4th, so if you're gonna put it down there, we're gonna have to work to figure out where we can get it.
Put it where?
Put it up on the grass.
I was gonna put it right in front of the bathrooms. They have to walk past me to get to the
Right
bathroom.
on the grass.
Putting it up on the grass, the only thing we have to check on is I know that's the leach field up there.
It should be
It's
fun.
not
One
heavy
day.
enough to do anything.
No, for one day, it's not gonna be a problem.
Get there early.
Oh, we'll be there early. So if you hear me complaining about my house not being done, don't tell my husband.
Yeah.
Because he officially
Yeah.
has an excuse.
Yes,
He does, that's
Because
for
he'll-
sure.
Send a crew to your house.
I'd love that. I need really tall people and people who can get up on ladders. Yes, I do. We have to insulate the attic and the addition.
Have a party. Party at my house.
Consolation
I'll buy
party.
pizza, I'll cook whatever you guys want.
And it's rock wool, it's not the itchy stuff.
No, it's
That's the
not.
best
It's
part.
what?
It's rock wool
It's-
insulation,
what's
so it's-
that?
there's no fiber,
It's
there's no
wood-
fiberglass in
wood
it.
fiber.
It's, well, it's, and stone too, it's actually stone, they crush it down, it's fire resistant,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have fiberglass, it doesn't
And it
itch
doesn't
to put it
rot?
in.
Nope.
No, it doesn't rot, and it's, you can put it chimney
And-
safe, you can put it in chimney.
What's it called?
Rock wool.
Well, yeah, ROC.
They sell it at Country 3.
Oh, you don't want
They
me
didn't
to
know they
CC
sold
you
it at
on this,
Country
do
3
you?
when I asked, but the next day
don't
magically
have
shut
to
up on a
know.
board.
Are you really planning on coming back?
After I bought it
Not
at
coming
Lowe's.
back? Seriously, you're done?
So we got lacrosse, we have cheer, we have softball,
We got it all.
soccer, baseball.
Big over
Is
there.
field hockey?
Field hockey doesn't use
The
anything.
new recruit
They use the middle
conference,
school field.
I know.
We do?
I'll be full again. Pam's husband.
What are we
But
recruiting?
Thursday nights
Well,
are his.
the problem is that he can't come to meetings on Tuesdays because he has scouts. So he really wants to join, but the schedule is not, because one of us would have to
So
be,
he's not joining.
well, we're.
Well, hang on, let's finish with the field usage so that all these lovely people can.
Yep, I think we're all good.
We're all good.
Scouts the other night. No.
Yeah.
Any other questions from us?
I do have a concern about soccer because of the overuse of Inison last year. So are you sure that with the middle school using Inison?
Well, the
We
middle
don't-
school
know
didn't
when-
submit a usage form, did they?
They did not.
Yeah, I don't know when they'll use it.
Okay. All right. Well, we can always, yeah, all
We
right.
can tell
I'll
them it's
speak
all
to that
good.
athletic
Well, there's the
director.
football. They can go to the football field
You
too.
know somebody?
Yeah, I know the athletic director.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we'll want to keep an eye on the football field too.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Because we went from games only to practice with sneakers, which totally was not safe. So this
Yeah.
year we're saying practice with cleats
And
one
games.
time a week,
Yeah.
and then now we're opening up to. But we said, we warned, like, if we allow you, we got to allow everyone. So,
And there's still way less. There's still
which
way
is
less
fine.
wear
Let's give
on
it a whirl and
than-
see what happens. But
that
just
is-
keep
yeah.
an eye on it. And
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you may also want to talk to the landscaper about maybe cutting it shorter so that it doesn't get ripped up. So it doesn't get too short so it burns out, but cut it a little bit shorter.
Speaking of that, so last year, I had talked to Stockhouse too, the other day. I don't think the irrigation ever got turned on at Inison.
Thank you.
And I had asked it to get turned on and adjusted for the times.
And
So
it came
I
up at a
think that
meeting
was
last
big
year,
problem
too.
Last year, that it wasn't growing right and
Yeah,
it
I
was,
think that's why the field.
Those big brown
the-
patches. 'cause
yeah.
it
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Tells you there's no irrigation
Yeah,
going on.
So I don't, can we make sure the irrigation gets turned on?
It was only at Inison?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Remember, we had that power outage?
Yeah, when
and
the
And
meter
the
tripped.
irrigation
And
was
it
supposed
never
to come
got
back
turned
and
on. And I know I called. the
Yes,
cops
you
about
did,
it.
and I remember it coming up
We
at a
talked about it,
meeting,
yep.
and I think Karen was
Darn
gonna
if you
go
get
down there and
director.
have somebody.
And it's, yeah.
Look
so
at it.
just If we can make sure that, that'll definitely help the field,
Okay.
especially
Yeah,
through
that,
the
we talked
summer,
about that in
and they
August.
overseed it for the summer months and stuff.
Okay.
That was about the only thing we talked about in August.
Well, how often
Yeah.
does Stockhouse how often are they at the fields? I mean,
At least once a week.
They're there plenty. The
Then
fields are kept
Sometimes
very.
more in
The
the
fields
spring.
are kept very short
they should.
because I have trouble keeping paint on them.
He said he contacted, it's not him that does it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Tom
the.
has a contract with a company that is in charge of the irrigation.
Oh.
So
that's
Stockhouse doesn't do
Yes.
the irrigation?
No, he
No.
doesn't.
Now,
Okay.
So
So
find
he
out
said
who
he
our
told the
contract
town.
is with.
Yeah.
There's three
Okay.
people:
I gotcha.
irrigation,
Yeah.
grass cutting,
Yep.
and maintenance,
Yep.
and then fertilization is
Fertilizer
separate.
is a different company?
Really?
Right.
Stockhouse subs it out,
Oh, okay.
third party, but he may be a singular source for that. But I think Chippers does it.
So
So
he
we gotta
said,
figure out who
yeah, the
does
company
irrigation.
for the irrigation was told to come and he said they never did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they blew it out, because that'd be bad.
Yeah,
I have another thing that, I have to fix Bolton's pitcher's mound, and I also am putting an extension on the back stop,
Mm-hmm.
wax paint for it all.
Thank you.
I gotta redo the mound is all kinda concaved and it's in rough shape, so I gotta buy some clay for that. We're also getting some, drying material for the, clay to try to help speed up when it rains, it's a mud pit over there,
Mhm.
it's puddles, so it'll help with that. So also purchasing that too for the field, so. I just kinda wanted to give you guys a heads up that.
We see people over there doing stuff. What's going on?
yeah.
Okay.
And are you guys gonna be doing anything in and around the, home plate for as far as drainage at Bolton? Or are you just doing the pitcher's
Well, I
mound?
wanna get more clay and then kinda make sure everything's,
Graded right, so it,
yeah, so it's not like puddling up.
what are we doing down at Inison? Cause I know at Inison, we had a same issue at Inison behind home plate.
We're definitely gonna rototill the.
Yeah,
The
that
dirt.
material and, we're gonna get a pallet for the field there to, or it kinda goes in, the drying material,
Yep.
kinda
Okay.
gets
It
filled
helps
in.
it drain, but.
And it helps dust too.
I know we're at home plate, and I wanted to say, was it first base or was it third base?
It is kind of.
It's,
Is it?
there's some, yeah, there's a lot of,
Or flatten it out,
yeah.
maybe we can get some material.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ordering material and you guys are paying for it, whether you can get a deal getting more, not for just 2 delivery stops.
Yeah, just, yeah.
And how it's Parrington? Parrington's good.
Just did that one.
Yeah.
Last year was the best it's looked in a long
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Wash it out, I don't know.
Did we leave the mound cover down all winter? Or did we pull it up?
I just sent Naomi a message about irrigation.
I think we might.
What made me think of it is I noticed Goffstown leaves theirs down.
Really, it probably would cool off.
Yeah, we didn't have enough snow to hold it down.
Well, we have
Well, no,
pins.
there's
We
there's
put
pins,
in it.
but yeah, but once the ground freezes and the pins are in it, ain't going.
Yeah, those pins aren't coming out.
It's not coming out. It's not coming
I
out.
don't know if it was up there, I'm not sure.
When do the tennis nets go back?
Good question.
Oh,
I don't know.
Check on that.
we're gonna have to get these guys. Are we?
Did you?
While these guys are doing field usage,
I need
we are gonna
a
have
checklist.
locks
Like right
on the
front of
dumpster
us.
at Parrington. So we're gonna have to make sure that these guys get keys to get into the dumpster at Parrington.
There won't be keys, so it's going to be a combination lock or some sort of, there will be some way. So if for some reason it has to be a key, which we're hoping it's not going to be,
Yeah.
that will be left in the shed. So there'll be a copy so that everybody that needs to get in
Are
there
you
can.
doing that at Inniston too?
We're doing it at Inison and Parrington, I think, and Bolton locks so that we can just put our own trash in there and not, because the biggest problem we're having is Inison and Parrington. Our people, yeah, Parrington's terrible. And whenever I'm there lining fields, I can guarantee there's gonna be somebody pulling up to that dumpster.
Yeah.
Oh, A&M irrigation,
Thank you.
4562089.
Well,
Hang
Bolton's
on.
probably the worst.
This is what I have to print out. This is what she's.
It might
the
be,
dumpster, the septic,
I haven't
the
noticed it.
capital
Parrington's
well,
pretty bad. Well,
She's got
and the thing
capital
with
well
Bolton
in
is
there,
it's
too.
bigger.
Capital
Craftsman Press.
Capital Well is
Forward it
for
to-
the septic.
Well, and we have a well if there's water for
Capital Well
irrigation
does
as
a
well.
water test
Yeah.
at Chase.
Yeah, they do a water test at Chase.
And I mean, if we have a well for irrigation, they would do any maintenance to that too.
Yep.
All right.
Have you heard from Pickleball?
April's the dumpsters, the
They're-
porta potties.
The people that do pickleball are kind of away right now
Oh,
for the
okay.
winter.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we won't hear from you for a bit.
We heard from,
Words.
WAC
She
heard
said she
from,
wasn't back till like, I think April or
Yeah.
May.
Oh,
Whack
okay.
her.
I don't know whether we need to take down the ice
Okay.
skating rink right now.
Lucky's.
Yeah.
yes.
And for irrigation, we don't
Can you just re-forward that to me?
have to use the same
Yeah, I
company.
gotta print it too, I forgot.
Well, I thought Stockhouse had
Ooh,
told me that
stickers.
they had a
We have to order
contract with the
stickers?
town.
Oh, for
This
Chase?
The company that was in
When
charge,
does
so
that
I
have
don't
to get done?
know.
April.
Yeah, they might do all this.
They might.
Oh, with the whole.
Craftsman
With the
Press
town,
order
they had
like
a
stickers?
contract to take
April?
care of the irrigation at the field.
Yeah,
Like
if
he
you,
has
can
a
you forward it
contract.
to
I
me?
will.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
remember any of this. I've
Somebody
gotta
had
print
a
it out.
contract to take care of the irrigation.
just trying
So
to
you
see
just
what we
check
did
with
with
somebody on that.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
double
have to
check.
find out when that's
I
up
thought
for
we
rebid.
paid per opening, per closing, and then whenever we needed a maintenance
Oh,
fix.
chlorination at all, capital well.
The mound
Oh,
has
is
like
that
a
every
sprinkler head in it too.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, she
Then we
doesn't
may
have,
to,
how often, she said April.
mow
So,
out of the mound. It's like right in the.
Yeah.
Winter.
It's
Really?
ridiculous.
Comes up in the dirt.
Yeah, it's like right in
I
the
have
dirt,
an
yeah.
inquiry for swim lessons.
Yeah.
We just
Ah,
have to find it.
it's a bad place for a sprinkler head.
If we would pay for
Where,
certification.
where's that at Bolton?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we were able, if we
Okay.
were permitted to pay for someone to be.
My guess is they must have installed the irrigation and
First.
put the field in.
Yeah, and then the mound, like.
The original, not one of the teachers.
Gets soggy.
I don't know if I have to ask her if she did it again, but she still lives right in Park.
And
She's a teacher.
where did we have fence problems last year?
For middle school.
That was Parrington. We got it all taken care of.
They're supposed to, like, so the
So how-
irrigation company's supposed to
How come there's
start
6
it up
different
and
meetings?
then the-
Yeah.
instead of broke,
But also
it's supposed to
pay
be
for new
broke.
certification. You know what I mean?
How much is
That's
the
why I
certification?
was why did it go?
mean, there's like cover.
It wasn't for a person.
Scott, did you say Bolton? Sorry, I'm like, there's seven
Bolton, yeah.
different people talking. I couldn't hear you. Bolton, so the mound at Bolton has an irrigation.
Yeah, and
Can we probably just scratch that one? Like, what's it irrigating?
or move it out into the grass, I don't know. I don't know what's easier.
Because if the ones in the outfield are getting enough watering, then maybe we can just
Yeah,
cap
shut it
and
off.
get rid of it.
Probably just cap it.
Well, it depends, because it may be circulating. You have to see what it does.
Yeah.
Him talking about that, Robert is interesting point that
Mhm.
I forget until every beginning of the season, but we usually have like broken covers on the sidelines. It's still a spot for the girls and boys to be running at. And we usually have to put a cone up, because it's a big plastic cover hole that's busted. So it's something we'd reach out to you and you go to
Mhm.
where, okay.
Yep.
Unless you wouldn't see on mine.
Is that at Bolton?
Yeah.
On the on the football field?
Mhm.
We should get all that taken care of with our spring.
Yeah, like
Yeah, well, I'll see
irrigation
you.
contractor will have to start.
Have them just come out.
Should be fixing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He usually does. I mean, we've been using, it's been the same guy for a while. Maybe we're finally getting what we pay for, because I think we got a pretty good rate for it, so.
Well, maybe I'll check with Naomi on that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not under contract, we can always look for someone else.
So that would be all assistants.
So we have anything else on the fields?
We will meet after that.
I think you guys are good. You guys can, unless you want to stay and visit the rest of our lovely meeting.
Speaking of fields,
If you stay long enough, usually
Porta
the
potties
voting
and
results
dumpsters
come
need
in
to
while
be-
we're leaving.
April 1st.
Yep,
is
I
that-
have it on my list of.
Did
Yep.
you call?
I've already talked to them. I
You were
talked to them in
successful with the porta
January.
potty people, okay.
Yep,
And the
yeah.
dumpster people, you were successful to find a good rate?
Well, the rates I found, I shared, and I think we were looking at, who's the person who has, the company you have with yours?
Our dumpster is with.
No, not the dumpster.
Oh, porta potty is Henniker Septic.
Yeah,
I
but we
remember
can,
that, but I know if you found a dumpster first. She had Naughton and Sons dumpsters on here.
Well, the other thing is who's the middle school use? Because
For a dumpster or porta potty? They
dumpster.
don't have porta potty.
They have the red, I think they're Caswell,
Yeah.
Casella,
Casella, I think is who they have.
I'm trying to remember who I had.
I mean, I just figure if Casella, if they're already in town to dumping other
They
ones.
won't, they won't give you a break. They won't. We don't care. That'd be nice, but they won't. Waste Management's around, Casella's around, she's got Naughton and Son, and I'm trying to think of the one we use at work, I can't remember their name.
it was
It
Henniker
might be
Septic
Waste Management.
that was
Yes,
for
that
porta
was the
potties,
best-
that was
yeah.
the best price.
And they were gonna do it every Monday, so it's right after all the weekend games. I didn't know if you found dumpsters.
Alright, Waste Management, hold on. This was back in December.
Yeah.
You guys can head out if you're all set.
They can stay if they want to.
Or stay, it's up to you.
Thank you. Thank
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Yeah, the Eagle Scout project started in August, or
So,
Oh, it's Naughton and Son. So we're using Naughton and Son right now.
you are, that's what we're using now, yeah.
Yep.
I got their phone
And
number.
I called Pinard Waste Management
And Casella.
and Casella. One of them didn't do it at all. Like it was like a crazy weird. And then I also called this Dave somewhere else.
Some of them might only do big commercial stuff.
Yeah, they weren't willing. A lot of them weren't willing to even. And then I didn't get phone calls back.
yeah, Henniker Septic, you had handicap was 175 and 125 a month.
Henniker is going to be the best.
Yeah, they really, and you know, I just
And they
love
have a
how
good-
local they are and they're quick and they were, I mean, I've got a 2-year reliability with them, even on holidays.
Yeah.
But I'm just, are they set to come April 1st? Cause that's right around the corner.
We've already discussed it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
I knew you liked it, I didn't know if it was concrete.
We talked about them coming out April 1st.
Yes.
I don't think we made a decision at our last meeting though.
Right.
At the meeting about it.
So
for January.
they need to be.
Yep, so I can, as long as everybody's good,
Does everybody like Henniker Septic
With
and the
Henniker
porta
Septic?
potties? Okay,
that was gonna be the best one.
okay.
All right, so do we need to put that in as an official thing?
Well, we already have the line item for that, so it's just changing companies. I don't know if we
No.
have to vote or anything, right? Because it's already a line item.
Oh yeah, I
of
called Marty Coe and they couldn't come.
Rubbish
Dumpster.
from, no, septic.
God bless you.
Septic would be porta potties. Outside services, I would assume would be porta potties.
Randy, do we need to make a motion to change companies?
I don't think we need to make a motion
Well,
to make
we-
sure
so-
Randy stays.
We
Oh, did she do that?
Dumpsters
did
is
we get
gonna,
bids from them yet?
from
She-
porta potty, yes. Oh, no, I don't,
Oh.
not written.
Not written bids. Do they need to be written bids? She just called and kind of got, if they email, did they email them back or they tell you over the
Mm-mm.
phone?
No, I couldn't even get people to respond to me
septic
for.
people.
Oh, yeah, that was dumpster. No, I only got them over the phone.
I think the best way to do it is just if we present all the bids, and then we can review them together as a board, or you guys can, and
Okay.
then make a motion based on those to.
We just have to have them show paper
So you
first,
want-
So we kind of have to do a little.
And
Well,
even
you
if you
got
just make
verbal,
a
right?
verbal list
She
of.
got verbal.
Well, I already
Is it
got
a-
that.
Do you have 3 bids? How
Yeah.
much is it?
Yep, she got Henniker, 125 a porta potty.
Hold
a
on.
month.
Yeah, this is, so, yeah, I think I did this in just, so in January. So if, is it in the January notes? Cause this is when I presented it to you guys. So Henniker Septic was $125 a month for a regular porta potty.
And we weren't gonna do any handicaps, I don't.
No, we were going to do handicaps because we have a problem with, it's a real big issue for grandparents at games.
Or we could do all
especially-
handicaps or some handicaps?
I think, didn't we discuss, I know Pam, you brought it up about not having the handicap one at Innis and being in it. That was an issue. We don't need a handicap one at Bolton
Unless football
because
doesn't come.
football usually provides one. And then
But
we
that's only
provide
in
the
the
other
fall
one.
though, so you'd have to have them do it.
No, they're there. They're there year round, those.
We may
The other
have
two
talked-
down by there's two down by the playground, between the soccer field and the soccer/football field. And then there's one up by the baseball field. So there's 3 of them there.
So when you,
Wait,
so
where's
let's
that?
talk to the generals people when we do,
I emailed them, so hopefully we'll email
All
back.
right, but when you're talking about field usage with them, tell them, hey, we're getting a better rate on porta potties.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they're paying.
Well,
All right.
we can't tell them what to use.
So,
No.
so
But if we're gonna have 2 different ones side by side,
We
then,
can let
you
them
know,
know, yeah. And
Karen
we're
has-
switching companies, so.
Karen has for porta potties, 1 at Inison, 1 at Purrington, 2 at Bolton, because we do 1 up top and 1 down below.
Yep.
And then 1 at the tennis court.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 5 porta potties.
And we had talked about, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, when we discussed this back in January, we talked about keeping keeping what we've got at Bolton, switching the one we had at Inison for a
Handicap.
handicapped accessible, and switching the one that we have at Purington for handicapped accessible.
So
The only problem is I know at Inison, when it's games and tournaments, that 1 porta potty is not enough.
So,
I was gonna
Inison,
say, yeah, do we need more than 1 at Inison, or?
I don't think so.
Tournaments.
I've never stood
never-
there.
Well, no, I mean,
I've never
when
stood
we've
one.
had games, we had, you know, at halftime, I've had 5 of my soccer players standing in line waiting to use the restroom.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience when I've coached. And I've been there a lot. I don't know.
yeah, both of my
I mean,
kids played at Inison for a couple years in a row, and I don't think we ever waited.
Well, you've been in the snack shack. How
Henniker
bad
on
is
the
it?
other-
It's
And
not
for the other
really,
hand, it like
maybe
7
1 or 2
fields and 2
people
porta
waiting,
potties.
but.
Yeah, I think I've had to wait
I've
once or
waited in line in
twice.
Henniker.
Yeah, I don't think it needs another one.
No, I think 1's enough.
All right, so what's the pricing?
What did we do at Bolton? 1 of each at Bolton? Is that what you did? 1
No.
regular, 1 handicap?
No.
Football did the handicap. We just had
So
2.
two
We had one-
regular.
So when I check in with football, it would be a good idea for me to check in and say, hey,
And
by
tennis
the way,
court,
what are you
regular
doing?
Tennis court?
Yep.
All right, so the regular ones are 125 and the handicaps are 175?
And those are used, it's also used for the playground. I mean, the people at the playground are using those porta potties too.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is with pickleball, did you want to, for the tennis court, did we want to put in a handicap? Because they're,
If they're playing tennis or pickleball,
Then they're probably not handicapped.
well, no, but,
And nobody's showing up to watch them. It's not like kids, it's not
right,
like
but
grandparents.
there are older people who,
Might need a little more room.
We had
that's
a
being a
regular
polite
one
way.
there. If they need a bigger one, they can tell us.
Yeah.
We've had
Yeah.
a little one there for a long time.
We've had a
and
little,
it's been
yeah,
fine.
and
They
they're
didn't
not,
say anything about it last year.
And the library's there too, they could
Yeah.
just walk over to the
yeah, they're not
library.
going, yeah, they're playing pickleball. And
Yeah.
they're not, their grandparents aren't there watching them play
Right.
pickleball.
Right.
So 5. Okay.
So what's the other 2 bids that we got?
She talked
Dave's,
Anyone mind if we open a window?
No, no.
please do.
Very hot.
That, I like it a lot.
Open both of them, even better. Thank you.
All right, so
Oh, yeah.
7:25.
Of course, we're both on video opening the window, so we both gotta remember
We're gonna close them, yeah.
Thank you.
Now, this will drive my wife nuts, so we have to fix
It's
it.
part of my plan.
October. I like to count on my fingers.
I want to get back in read files
Okay,
tonight.
so what were the Dave's quotes?
They were $153 a month for standard, which is $28 higher,
Mhm.
and $210 a month for the handicapped, which was $35 higher. And there was a pickup and delivery fee of $60 to each location,
Okay, then.
And
which we
Henniker-
don't have with
Henniker will
Henniker.
charge you if they can drop them off the regular Monday's wear day.
Yep, they don't
charge
have a
you.
problem.
If you need it special on a Friday,
Okay.
they would
Yeah.
charge you.
Yeah.
Yep,
So Henniker's cheaper.
way
By far.
cheaper.
We know they got good service.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I did call St. Ange. They don't do porta potties.
Yeah, they moved
Okay.
their location.
And I call American Guardian is the one that we have now. And I did not write down the prices. And this was back in, but
American Guardians, I've tried to contact
We have
them
their
before,
sorry.
and they
I know
don't-
we have their prices. It's just that everything was back in December. I did this on the 31st of December.
So at
So I'm like,
$725 a month, 7 months is $5,075. I have no idea where that line item is coming out. It's just porta potties. We don't have anything that big.
Where's
I don't know.
What are they? 125 a month is Henniker.
So,
well, 175 for the
Handicap.
handicapped accessible.
and 125 for the regular. So it comes to 7. So if you do
I'll
two
do apples for
handicap-
apples. 125 times 6.
Five porta potties.
5.
One ice and one prune.
5, yep.
5 porta potties.
And we usually drop them.
The only thing that's even
April?
close to that would be Parks and Recs maintenance.
And rubbish removal.
It might be under.
No, it's the one right above rubbish. I have it as outside services. I have
Oh,
Yeah.
I have PT. I have PT on that one.
You have the porta. Oh, I do have it on that line
Yep.
too.
Yep.
But it's so low. How did we? Oh, that was to date. How do we only use 25? We used 37.
Well, we pull them out and basically you have them.
So I don't know what our proposed budget was for 2020 for that one item. I don't know what it was.
We didn't change it for porta potties.
So 2,500 was all we had, and we're double that.
Our actual was double.
Well, looking at if we did this, it's 5,075.
Yeah, our actual is for
No, that's the
oh.
next line item. But that was halfway through the year. This isn't the end of
Oh.
2019. This is to date.
And when was it printed?
Probably not.
But even as far as 2019,
Look, maybe I should give you this. No, that's the same one. Sorry.
it was only 1971 for 2018. So even,
And how come 2017, 3,700?
that sounds like a more correct number.
Yeah, that's a lot closer.
It's still cheaper though. Because I did based on 7 months. We're
Yeah.
at 43.75 if we go with
Right,
Henniker.
if you didn't do handicap.
Without handicap. But yeah, I just want to compare the two.
So that's pretty close.
Would they be delivered April 1st?
Whatever that Monday is.
Okay.
April
closest
1st
Monday.
and November 1st.
Yeah, I told Naughton not to pick up theirs that were left down there because they got left and then it snowed and they couldn't get in.
They couldn't, yeah.
8 months.
So I need to get them taken out.
7. April, May, June,
7.
July, August, September, October.
Now, if I call
October,
Naughton back and I say, hey, we're gonna have you pull them because they're more expensive.
Yep, the dumpster.
And they say the porta potties.
Naughton's
Naughton,
not the
sorry.
porta potties.
No, American Guardian, sorry,
Oh.
American Guardian. and they say, we'll match their price, then,
Then we can stay with them, I guess.
yeah.
So do that before
And I would,
we sign anything with Henniker.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking, cause I,
But we won't have handicap.
and we want a
Yeah.
guaranteed date of.
of
we
cleaning
want
it
a
out.
We want a once a week guaranteed date, you're gonna clean it out on X date, rain or shine, you're
Were
gonna.
Yeah,
were they regular
They,
or not?
I don't think
Not
so.
really, I had
We've
to
been
call
having
a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
a lot of problems.
I had to call them
You know what, let's
at
just,
least twice a month.
should we just get them out of there, then?
Yeah.
Alright,
I
let's
mean, they
just,
didn't
Well-
even pick them up.
I know, and they had to, and I did call for them to pick up, and then
Well,
they
they're
didn't.
not gonna, hopefully they're not billing us for all of this time. that
No, they're not. I discussed that with them in the fall.
We would have had a bill by now anyway.
Yeah,
It
no.
would have showed up. if they were
Nope,
on.
I talked to them about it and told them that we had inspected them out.
Line item.
And well, how much was the rubbish now gonna be? Because the rubbish,
We didn't get numbers, people didn't call her back.
No.
That's what I thought I
remember.
remembered was
Yeah.
that you didn't get dumpster
No,
numbers.
I
Okay,
don't.
is that
I
the
did call a bunch of
Yeah,
places that
that
don't
was
do it.
halfway through 2019. It wasn't the
So, like,
final.
Marty Co. won't do it. They only have
2018
15-yard
was, and it's still
dumpsters.
going on.
Yeah, it is.
So I think we were looking to stick with the
Well, and the
same
approved
company.
was final, but not what we spent. And we did raise Parks and Recs. She was gonna put it up to 26. No, she was gonna put it up to 25,000. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a note too
No.
on that. Porta
well,
potties
yeah,
and
because the
irrigation.
proposed budget
And the maintenance
I
was
have
gonna
was
go up to
4,500 for
6,000.
garbage.
It was
recreation.
Parks
And
and Rec outside services.
porta potties, I thought,
Actually dumped.
yeah, because if you look at 2017, we were at like
It's way lower.
$3,700 for porta potties.
Right, and that's more realistic.
Well, I mean, we're having to add an extra, we're adding a little bit more expensive porta
Whoa.
potty now.
Not according to, well, if American Guardian was, we don't know if they were cheaper or more expensive.
What if I have mine?
Without my scribble, without my chicken scratch?
But did we ever get the
Truly.
approved budget for
No, they're
2020?
voting it
This is
on.
just
They're
January.
We're
voting
voting
on
on
it.
it.
Right?
That's what they're voting on now.
Okay.
We can check and see
We're,
if the votes
we're
are
in
in.
the, yeah, we're in the
No.
big package.
How do you spell guardian?
G
There we go.
U A R D I N. Did Maureen come in?
See, that was a problem when, oh. That was printed on November.
Yeah, maybe all of
Yeah.
those hadn't come in yet.
Yeah, because see, we were over in wages.
Yeah.
We were over in rubbish removal. But we only spent $12.84. It's a deal of a century
For what?
for the porta potties
Yeah.
and the irrigation.
And irrigation. Well, irrigation we have a problem with though.
They weren't billing us because they weren't doing it.
Maybe.
Where did the lake stickers come out? It must be Park Supplies, Chase Park Supplies. isn't it?
Yeah, and my wife's not supplied.
No, I don't know what happened. I know irrigation was not a issue in the past. So I don't know what happened last year.
What did they mean about blow them out? What did
They're
they?
supposed
In
to,
the
the
fall.
lines are supposed to be completely
So if
cleared.
that wasn't done, then they most likely froze.
They could freeze,
They could have.
but they also were not working. So,
They were working prior to not being blown out.
yeah.
We don't know. They could have blown them out even though they weren't working. Like it could have just been on there. We don't know.
The bigger risk isn't really the head; it's the main line.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they're
well, that's
only
what's big.
they're only 18 inches down. So any water in there will
You would
freeze.
think if they did it, they would have sent you an invoice saying that they performed the work. So,
Unless
you
it's
know,
a, unless it's a contract, like spring to fall, set up.
But there was some
maintenance,
sort
and
of
finish. You know what I mean? Like
disconnect.
if they did the whole
But
thing.
there was a disconnect last year because we did talk about that in August, or at some point, you said August, but I remember discussing it. And I
Yeah.
remember that Karen said she was going to
Do you want their
touch
phone
base with
number?
them so that they could get down there and fix it.
Do you want their phone number?
I think I wrote
Because I
it down.
think the problem we also had was they needed to reset the time clock
That was
or
the
whatever
issue.
When the power went out.
when the power went out. So there's got to be some way to make sure that
I wrote it down.
There's a battery, I mean,
A&M irrigation?
Yep, 4, 5, 6.
ones in Arizona, we had a battery backup. With a little 9-volt battery that,
And I'm not even so sure that it could be the head was broken. Because I had the same thing happen at my house, and I was like, why the hell is the grass? And I happened to be driving out of the driveway one day, and I looked while the irrigation was going, and the head wasn't running. I'm like, so, you know, it won't leak or create a fountain. It just, the spring was locked, it wouldn't pop up anymore. And that could be what happened at Inison. Because you're not going to get one dried area. Like, the whole field's going to dry out.
So is it irrigation and the porta potties are out of that line item?
Yes.
Outside services, that really needs to go up.
Yep.
well,
We are
Definitely.
way underpowered there. Okay.
So on my little list of to-dos for tonight was to come up with another date that we can meet because we need to go over applications if there are any.
Well, we haven't advertised yet
Yeah.
at all, right? Is it, who's gonna, it has,
Before the next meeting.
so you have to get the duty, do we need to go over the job duties, or we all approve of what we saw?
Well, we saw them on email, but we might want to,
Cause
yeah.
that needs to be published for the website.
yes.
Yeah, I think we're behind because the last time we talked, you wanted to be interviewing March.
Today.
That's gonna be right.
By
But
the
then
March.
but the last.
We
meeting,
usually do it in
we pushed-
April,
we pushed
so
it back
it's
the last
not.
meeting.
We did.
We're gonna have applications in by the 31st of March.
Yeah,
We were
that-
trying to get ahead of it this year.
We were, but it
Yeah.
didn't,
And that
it didn't work out.
That's not happening. Although somebody
never been an
contacted
issue in the
me-
past,
contacted me
so.
on Facebook and asked if they could.
Yeah,
They wrote
was
on,
that,
they wrote
do
on
they
the
want
web
to,
page, and I sent them to the PARC page.
did they ask about teaching? Because I was
Somebody asked me about
contacted.
swim lessons as well.
So
Taking
I was
them or
contact-
take them, not to
Okay,
give
that's
them.
what I was contacted about taking swim lessons too, and I explained that we, need to find an instructor.
Yeah.
So can we put that out there?
Sure.
Well, I wonder.
What have we paid an instructor in the past?
In the past, it was,
$12 an hour for swim lessons. They were a $10.99, and they went under the town insurance.
so they were kind of like an outside contractor that
Mhm.
was insured under us.
Which I don't know how that works with a
I don't know
$10.99
either.
and inside, your own insurance. $12.
And that comes out of that parks budget, because I'll tell you that I went through the parks, but the budget for Chase Park today, and
The wages,
the wages, because we went over,
we
and
asked for 25,000.
And so what happened
Well,
when you went there?
So I went through, based it on 22,000, and I looked at all of the hours were open, and I did have a very brief conversation with Kristen, and I actually took the hours and I slashed some of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were
We
thinking about
talked
cutting
about
down
that
how
the
many
last
people were
meeting,
gonna be
right.
at the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of having 3 or 4 staff members,
Yep.
having 2.
That was stuff we talked
closing
about
earlier.
last. So I did, I took the hours, I slashed them. I came up with 949 hours open by cutting out some hours.
Is
Um,
that with or without lifeguards?
That's without lifeguards.
Okay.
And
how many hours total did you come up with?
I came up with 949. However, 949. However, I think we need to cut them more because what I came up with for a total, every hour we have $23 to spend, and we want at least 2 people there.
What were we gonna do, $8 an hour, or what were we doing? Were we doing a little bit
Well,
more
we've
than
got-
minimum wage, or were we
You've got to
starting with
assume we've got
7.25?
Kristen and another person, and that's not even including a lifeguard.
Right.
So
Well, lifeguards.
I did I had a brief conversation with Kristen today about hours. And when they may need somebody, because, I mean, I remember what it was like when I was there, but that was a long time ago. And the possibility of cutting staffing hours down so that we're not there till, 8 o'clock at night. So maybe the staff needs to leave earlier than the park closes.
What do you have them closing at right now?
So I left June 1st through the 22nd. This is old dates because the dates are a little bit different. So it won't this year. It will be like the 23rd or something,
yeah.
or the 19th. So basically, the month of June during the weekdays until the very last week in June. So the first 3 weeks of June, 10 to 8 p.m.
It's only on weekends though, because school's not out, right?
Oh, you know what? You're right. So that's actually a little bit less hours.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Found some hours.
That's a few hours less. Yes, that
It's
is.
a lot of
Depending
hours.
on when we get out of, well, we're
It's-
probably done with snow days for the year.
Right now, we're out on June 18th.
Hang on.
That's good to know.
And
Right
I
now.
did
I was just
not do
wondering
that.
about today.
Well,
June-
Rick just cursed us with 3 feet of snow, so.
Yeah,
Thanks, Rick.
June 19th.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, that's
Although we
fine, as
do
long
have-
as it's after the last day of
We do
school.
have one more snow school
That's
day,
right, yes.
so
Oh, and a blizzard bag
we have a
thing.
blizzard bag day left.
They don't, they never told us if we got 80%.
Yes, they did. We made 80%.
I heard
Okay,
they were
good.
skeptical.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So even June 18th right now is a Thursday.
That's 3 weeks of June.
Right.
Where
So
they
basically
don't
you have a
put
week,
weekdays.
you could start on the 19th or you could,
Start on the 20th.
or you start on the
Saturday.
20th.
Starting Saturday, yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, the 19th you could go unlock the gate and just,
Although the 19th would be nice for boats too.
Fine.
well,
No, we
boats
do boats early.
are
So-
done. Most of the lake boats are on by Memorial.
Oh, when we do
Memorial
the
Day.
training, when we do
Right,
the training.
It's just the weekend boat.
We
That did up us
this
to
past year we
$27 an hour.
used the training as an
It did,
opportunity to check the
$27
boats,
an hour?
to train them how
I
to
think,
check the boats.
but I like what you're saying, Dave. Like maybe that first weekend in June, the gates are open. But the other weekends, the gates are open so
Do you
that
mean
cuts
the
us
boat
out
ramp gates, or what do you mean?
Oh, without staff?
without staff. Just
First
the
weekend
first
in
week
June?
in
But then we
June.
lose revenue from that.
How much do we make that weekend?
I will
And people are gonna want to put their
tell
boat in the
you.
water.
Yeah, in June. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is June what? June 1st through the 2nd. We had a total of 35 for the entire week.
How many
35
boats?
People
zero
or
non-resident
dollars?
boats, 35 tickets sold.
Okay.
7 resident boats.
Well, I think
Yeah, we
also
should be
this year
open.
we also have to remember that this
We
year
sold 11 season passes.
they got to buy a pass for whatever's towing the boat.
Yes.
Has to have a pass on it and the boat.
The first weekend after.
First weekend
So
of
the
June,
boat's
she
separate from the car.
No.
And I think that's part of the thing that we didn't do last year was-
Open?
No.
No, so
Oh,
the first
okay.
weekend of June.
Oh,
Like right
okay.
after Memorial Day.
Okay. I
We
see what you're
we
saying.
discussed that
Memorial
last
Day we
week,
sold
right?
out.
The
Right,
last month.
last
So
time.
yeah, we got that one.
That's a
Memorial
lot.
Day weekend, 169. Memorial Day weekend.
Was that May?
169. Yeah, May 25th.
So
or
we
May
have to be-
27th.
So,
So we
the
have
other
to be
thing I
open in
would
May.
make sure we
Yeah.
do is
And May is not on this list, by the way.
on our open. Oh, our.
It's not on this
One day,
list.
though. It's only one day.
What day is it?
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Weekend,
It's
oh.
the whole
Oh.
Memorial. I don't know what it is this year. What is it this year?
23rd, 24th, 25th.
23rd, 24th, 25th.
And it's 3 days.
So then we're gonna add another 30 hours to my thing here.
You win some,
60
you lose
hours.
some.
I know.
And that's a big day. We can't. That's. I mean that's.
And you also had heavy staff on that day. I remember there was like 3 or 4 staff members
That's
on.
Well,
the
and-
biggest
and
day.
Kristen-
That's what we're
That's
putting
the
on.
biggest week until
Yeah.
school gets out. And then
Yeah,
once
you
school
don't
gets out, it's huge with 127 resident passes. Resident season pass 127 the week school gets out.
Wow.
And
Everybody's
then,
like bang, bang, bang.
And then we put our fees up and it drops and rolls out. I'd like to compare 18. Oh, I can, it's right here. Sorry.
Ask and you shall receive.
Okay.
So it's actually not that dramatic of it. That it drops in anyway. People hurry up that first week school's out and they get all their passes and then
The
it
thing
slows
is,
down.
we're not gonna lose revenue, I don't think, if we shut down at 6 o'clock at the gatehouse or at 7 instead of 8. 7 o'clock instead of 8.
Oh, this was interesting to compare non-resident cars for the year.
For
Even though we upped our prices and got less, so we went from 605 to 411, and that wasn't the whole summer last year. And we went from 6,000 in revenue to 7,000. So we increased, even though we increased our
Yeah.
prices. Less people came, we made more money.
Yes.
And that's not including all of.
That's what we
ours.
wanted to have happen.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I just didn't remember that that's what happened.
do I need, I wanna make a motion.
the one thing that we're gonna have to do though is if we're closing earlier, you're gonna have the problem with the people with the boats.
Yeah.
Yep, we know
The
that.
problem you're
And
gonna
that's-
have to tell them is, look, you have to be off by
From 18 to
X.
19
But we don't,
and
because we
out
can leave the gate open. Just
Out of
because we're
town,
staffing
down.
less doesn't mean we can't leave the
Yeah,
gate
but
open.
they,
just-
they closed the boat
The
ramp
boat
off.
ramp gate.
Oh,
The boat ramp gate, which means
But-
they can't get their boat out
Why do we have to close the boat ramp gate when we,
because you don't,
People
People will
can't
come
get
put boats in
in.
it.
oh, at night?
Yeah.
they'll come put boats in and
Or in
you
the
don't,
morning.
Yeah.
it can be contaminated or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, no.
So you can't,
Makes sense.
it's gotta be locked off.
You
And
can't, you have to have a staff member there to check the vote.
I mean, that's the real reason why
Yeah.
anything at Chase Park exists is in terms of staffing.
Yeah.
Just to keep the, like,
I mean, we're not,
It's really to
we're
keep
break
lights.
even,
Yeah.
it's true.
fees versus revenue, so
Yeah.
just to keep the lake
Well,
clean.
You know,
Which
then
is an important thing.
Yep.
it is important.
so, I mean, I would say at 8,
Then we need one person on at that time, or if all the boats have come in from the day,
Then they can close.
then you can close the gate and you can go home. Because,
Oh, you know how many boat passes you sold, so
Yeah.
you know how many to expect back. You could count them backwards.
yeah. And, I mean,
I'm sending
Well, and
you
you'll
I mean,
see
they
their
come
car
in-
parked there
Karen's
anyway.
calendar.
yeah, their car would be there.
Yeah.
Well, in theory.
and whether we also do this year is,
That's a good point.
Hey,
They
here's-
would not have a boat trailer sitting there.
Well, unless they've
Could be
dropped the
David,
boat
Drop
off
and
and
then
somebody
drive
is
home.
taking,
David
yeah,
Blaine
somebody's
could be visiting
And they're
us
gonna
with his
be-
boat.
leaving and visiting with the boat for the weekend or whatever. But we,
yeah, but
you
there
know,
was
they-
nobody, there was very rarely a car and or very rarely cars overnight.
No, but
Everybody
no.
was kicked out, everybody was out. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's not what, that wasn't what I was saying. What I was saying is
They were
if they
putting the boat in.
putting the boat in
And leaving it at a house on the lake. to
and
get a
going for
trailer
the
out.
weekend,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
as
they
long
can
as we
always
know.
ask when they come
Yeah,
in.
that needs to be on the checklist.
Yeah.
Are you taking the boat out tonight? Yes, you are. Okay, well,
Here's the time.
here's the time. It has to be out by this time.
And whether do we give them, do we have cards made up that says, here's a card in case you break down or something, you need to call the boathouse, you need to call the gatehouse and let us know, hey, my boat broke down, I'm stuck.
There's a phone number. Oh, if they're still on the water.
If
Just
there's-
say there's a
just-
phone number on the gatehouse, but that doesn't help. Does
Yeah,
it?
it does. They can still
Is
pull
our,
out
phone, is our phone fixed yet?
and go. No,
Granite State. So we just have to call Granite State telephone.
I didn't call them yet.
Well, no, the phone may be, it may be the phone,
Gosh, I've talked
It
to
might
Maybe
be
the
the phone
phone
itself.
itself.
That's
I
right.
think it's the phone itself that's not working, not the.
Yeah.
Isn't it like a rotary phone?
I gotta get in there.
You hold it like this.
Yeah.
Number, please.
Ham's like, hold on, let me connect you.
It was a rotary phone.
You know the telephone exchange used to be right across the street from the middle school and that house?
Well, now it's.
That brick
There's a
building
little
right
building
there.
right next to us that's the telephone exchange.
Wait, over here, but it was like
Yeah.
the house,
Yeah.
the person's house.
My grandmother
was
worked
out.
there. She was an operator.
That's neat. That's awesome.
So guess you telephone about.
Check that or check if it's the actual telephone.
Yes, yeah. I've got to find a phone then, another phone to go down there and test it with.
I have a spare rotary phone. I have 2 spare rotary phones.
Starting that historic.
Yeah, I'll put that right in the.
So
collection.
can we discuss hours then?
Yeah.
Can we
Yep.
talk about this for a
Yes,
second?
we
Yep.
need to talk.
Do we need to go into?
No.
Not for when we're open, hours of operation.
Okay.
No, just
That's
staff.
public knowledge.
So, so if this is what it was. It was 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the month of June, and I'm assuming for Memorial Day weekend, right?
Mhm.
So, if the boats are an issue, and we don't want to leave somebody alone, that's 10 hours a day on those weekends. So, and then the 3 days in May, the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th,
So, all right, sorry.
So that's-
10 a.m.
10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
And when's this now? June through what?
Month of June.
The month of June plus Memorial Day.
Talking
It's just the
about-
weekends.
We're talking about changing it to 7.
We had, yeah, if we change it to 7, is it gonna be a problem for people to be off the lake at
It's
6:30 at
getting
night
Is it getting
on a
dark?
weekend?
People go boating until it gets dark, probably.
Longest day of the year is June 21st.
Yeah, so it's
So it's
getting,
light
Light
out.
dark
Getting
until
light out.
9.
It's light
Mhm.
because it doesn't get dark till about 9:30 almost.
So it's the boat ramp. It's not the swimmers. There's not people in the water swimming really still.
There
Sometimes
there was people
But
that
we
Kristen, we had to kick people out last year.
Yeah.
at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, we're like, come on, you gotta go.
Are there nights that we open later, or is 8 o'clock as late as we've done it?
8's is late. Well, no, we've gone till 9. So in
Okay.
June, so the end of June, the last
Right.
weekend in June, through the end of July, we were open till 9
Can we
o'clock
just
at night.
have 10 to 8 every single day, every day of the year? Every
That's
time
what I,
it's just
and that's what
one-
we
one set of hours.
that's what we
When get
discussed
towards
last time.
fall, cut it even more.
Yeah, that's what we discussed last time. Last time we said we would just go till 8 o'clock. So that's what I did. I lobbed off those hours. It came up with the 800, now it's 839
So
hours.
instead of switching to 7 o'clock, just don't go to 9.
We're gonna go till 8,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we talked, because this is my notes from last time. We went till 8.
Until September.
Until
August.
the end of August.
End of August.
Okay.
Then it's only weekends.
And
'cause you're
then-
back in school.
Memorial Day, July.
Yep.
And August, okay.
And then it's
September.
10 to, they have 10, she had 10 to 7, then 10 to 6, then 10 to 4. I think we should just change it
10 to 6 for the rest of the
10
year.
to the 6 for the, yeah.
I'd even go 10 to 5 because September is the water's getting
Once school started, right?
once school starts
school
and you're
starts, we're
past
about
Labor Day,
weekends.
I'd used to do 10 to 5 because
Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
it's the water's getting cold, and by the only one that's going to be only one that's
You get
going to be
that
there.
Indian summer, you get that one, weekend
Yeah,
that's
but-
real hot.
And then people can park outside.
Yep.
And then-
And I've done it. I've stayed late and just
Yep.
parked outside.
And then it goes 10 to 4. But what I did is I said, well, when I was calculating it out, let's not be open the weekend of October 5th and 6th, or the first 2 weekends in October.
Columbus.
Let's just close.
When's Columbus Day?
Or have the gate
That's like
open.
the last hurrah.
Have
and it's
the-
hot.
The 11th-ish.
Well, the only thing is I
Getting
think
the boats off the water too.
Is
Yeah,
it?
because people may
I
not be
think
swimming, but they're still.
I think it was
Okay.
Columbus Day last year that they said they had to have all the boats.
Yeah.
You have to have
10th
your
to
boat
11th.
off by
The 11th is,
October
Columbus
11th.
Day is the 12th, yeah.
Whatever
So
Columbus Day is.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, so we have to stay open those days.
So can we just keep it 5 the rest of the year instead of changing down to 4? How often was it, when was the change to 4 o'clock?
Mid-September to the mid-October
So,
weekends.
That saves us hours if we
well,
do that.
instead of the middle, why don't we just do 10 to 4, September and October? Why have it the first 2, or is it because of Labor Day weekend? Is that
Yeah.
why people are thinking
Yeah.
to stay till
'Cause that's a
5 on
big
Labor
one.
Day?
And still nice.
Okay, so
Early
like
September.
September 15th?
or what about the weekend after Labor Day?
Yeah.
Like,
When's
start
Labor Day?
10 to 4 that weekend.
Need to bring a calendar.
Labor Day's the 7th, I guess.
Yeah.
So at that point, switch over to 4 PM?
Yeah.
So September 7th.
So it's September 8th, because would you do the 7th starting, because that's the actual Labor Day?
Oh, I was doing through until,
Okay.
like 10 to 5 through September 7th.
Okay.
And
Till
then you
5, because
start-
it used to be 6. Okay, so now we're gonna go 5.
And then 10 to 4.
From
It's-
the
I mean,
13th on.
We're not saving a lot here. Keep in mind it's only weekends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You're right.
So
A few hours here and a few hours there. But, I mean,
Well, the other thing is,
how much were
I
we
just
over?
think having it change so many times is.
It does. It
is
was-
This week is at 4?
Yeah, it was 8
Is
p.m., then 9
9
p.m., then it was 8:30 p.m., then it was 8 p.m., then it was 7 p.m., then it was 6, and then 4.
Like it kept
It
changing.
changed all over the place.
So now we have 3 time categories.
Yeah. So we have it till 8,
10
then
to
we
8.
have it to 5, and then we have it to 4.
I would just do 10 to 5 and be done. You're gonna pick up the 10 to 6 hours. You're gonna pick up the hours from there, and you're gonna next.
I'm almost tempted to move the 10 to 5, just 10 to 6, because it's really just literally Labor Day weekend.
It's those
It's
weekends.
it's like literally one weekend. School started, and I think that would be, so we change it, when we change it, it's by 2 hours. It's 10 to 8, then 10 to 6, then 10 to 4.
Okay.
Not this 1 hour interchange.
Okay.
That does make sense.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of like a happy medium.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So when do we change to 4 o'clock? At September 15th, the middle September weekend?
Right after
Yeah.
Labor Day,
12,
it'll
13.
be the 12th.
Yep.
It'll Saturday
Yeah,
the
the
12th.
12th, 13th. Okay.
And you want to say, hey, you have to have your boat. If you want your boat off, you have to have your boat off by Sunday on Sunday of Columbus Day weekend, or not Monday. So they're not.
If you just call it Columbus Day weekend.
Well, most people don't have Columbus Day week,
No.
Columbus Day off.
It just,
Most
They do
people
the
have to
Sunday.
work it other than the schools.
Yeah,
you could say the week, that Columbus Day weekend, that implies Saturday.
that's Sunday.
Do you think
I-
that's good,
I
or
would
do you wanna
just-
give them a day?
I know, I was trying to say.
I'd say
just-
by Sunday.
I just say by
Oh, no,
Saturday.
well,
You
Monday-
gotta have it off on Saturday and you're done. Cause Karen, I know last year had a couple of people who didn't
But
and
people have Monday off.
Yeah, I think the weekend, Columbus Day weekend, we're closed. October 12th.
okay.
Are we normally open on Columbus Day
Yeah.
on the Monday?
Yes.
I don't remember.
If we're open on that Monday, then we should let voting happen on that Monday. So Columbus Day
I
is,
would just say, Sunday, and then if you have your overflow people who
They can get it on Monday.
get it on
Columbus
Monday.
Day
Just Columbus Day weekend, I think that's.
open. Okay, so we're
And
open
then
Columbus
obviously you
Day.
have rain days in there too, so I think we need to come up with a rain day
Hope for some rain.
policy,
Thunder,
because last
thunder.
year we had,
Not much rain days.
yes, but we were,
Beautiful weather.
there were people sitting in the guardhouse last year when it was
Which is
overcast and
ridiculous.
raining.
That's ridiculous. When I
And-
worked there, if I wanted to stay and it was raining, I was getting soaked in the rain. And it was a choice. Like, okay, you're either gonna work or you can go home.
I think your point is they shouldn't be there at all.
They
It should be
shouldn't be
closed.
sitting there.
Right,
And I
you
think
shouldn't
Karen
be
did
there at
that.
all, you
Karen
should be
called them and
closed.
Say if it was like a washout day, we're closed, don't
Yeah.
come into work.
Rain policy.
Well, either that or we have two different things. Okay, we're gonna have the shift set up that, okay, the morning you're done, but we have an afternoon shift that comes in 3 to 8 or whatever, that if all of a sudden it becomes a beautiful, gorgeous day,
Plan to
that
work.
you've got
Yeah.
Yeah.
to go. And then, you will be told by 2 o'clock,
Right.
if you have a 3 o'clock shift, you need to go to work.
Yep.
Otherwise, plan to work, and that way it's set up so that you can
Right.
close for the morning, you gain those, you don't burn payroll for those hours, but if it all of a sudden becomes a beautiful day,
And then you're open.
then we're open and ready to go.
140 cars on the 4th of July, 2018.
Are we hiring police detail?
How much over budget were we?
I think we talked about it. We were over $2,000 over budget.
For everything or one line item?
No, for payroll.
Payroll.
Oh.
For Chase.
We were asking for a $2,600 increase, that's what we had told Karen to put on the,
Right, and then so we would have broke it,
it would have put us at $25,000.
which would allow us to almost break even compared to
With a
last year's
lifeguard.
hours.
And
Yeah.
the
No, yeah, and I didn't
instructor.
even, this is with no
Well, you put
lifeguard.
22,000.
The lifeguard has to
lifeguard.
take the test again.
Oh, when?
The
on
current
20th
lifeguard.
March.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, the new
When?
lifeguard.
Oh, he didn't pass the first time?
So if, we'll
It's
find
a
out tonight
hard
if it
test.
passes.
They,
It'll be tomorrow.
he refused.
Tomorrow,
to
the latest.
to read the
Like I
test
said,
again.
Every year we seem to walk out of here as
Yeah.
they're walking in.
Now he
We have to
knows.
see what
Now
the
he knows.
results
Now
are.
he knows.
Now he knows.
He had to
And
figure
he's
it
had a
out.
practice
And
run, so
there's
he'll be
What
good.
was it gonna go
There's
to,
a time
26,
trial. He
26,000?
has to swim so far and then put a pair of gloves on in the
Well,
water.
so point being, if
yeah.
Put a pair of
we
gloves on in the water.
Why
if
would
we
you
put
need to
in
do
an
that? In case you have a
increase in the
bleeding symptom.
budget
Oh.
to cover what we
Yeah,
spent last
so he
year,
didn't do it in the
in
time.
their we should be fine.
If they're
Don't
bleeding
worry
in the
about
water,
any
the
Hours
gloves
are
aren't
where
gonna
they are.
matter.
I don't
Say, don't worry
disagree
about
with
any
maybe
other
shaving
orifices
in
on
the
your body,
fall.
just
I'm just
be
worried about shaving in
I'm
summer.
thinking maybe people
Yeah.
are slippery and they're sticky gloves.
Because then if we close at 8, you're
That's-
closing the
I'm
boat
sorry,
ramp at
that's
7:30.
He did it over February
So,
vacation at
A
Snoop.
little
and
early. I mean, on the
offered
weekends, not
to
as big of
read
it, but on
Maybe the
weeknights
boat
when
ramp
people like to
needs
go out
and
after
let him
work.
answer
Maybe it
questions
needs to
better
be
verbally.
8:30.
Okay.
And he refused, he declined their offer. And
Now
then,
he's thought
so,
about it?
yeah, so now he has to review and then
I
they're
say
having another
we
class at the end of March.
Okay.
So he just has to
adjust
go
the
in the
fall.
last day to do the test.
We'll leave the
Okay.
rest as
Oh, good.
is.
So
Okay.
it's,
And
it's
then
just
if
two
our budget
pieces of
doesn't
the
get
written
passed,
part, Cause he passed the
then we may have to
lifeguarding
look
part.
at
Oh, good.
something.
And that's the important part.
It's the waterfront part.
Okay,
so-
so you kind of do homework with that
Yeah.
too, like.
Yeah.
study.
Driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Is he excited about it?
Guys, Randy has
We have an
a
idea.
suggestion.
Oh,
Okay, we like ideas.
He'll be 16 in May.
no.
So last year we ran on these hours, and the budget increase we put in was to cover these hours for the weather, type of weather we had last year, which was good, which means we should be fine in terms of wages.
Right? But
So I'm fine with making some. I think we're fine with making some adjustments in the fall. My worry is making the adjustments in the summer. If we're closing at 8, and then now the boat ramp's closing at 7:30, that's pushing it. That's early, especially on a weeknight. You know, a lot of people aren't home till 5. They want to take the boat out. it's not worth it at that point. So I would suggest before we start slashing all these hours and trying to make the budget fit, let's see what comes back for results and if we get the increase.
If we get the increase, we will leave the hours as is.
Kind of. Hold
I
on.
still think,
We can't leave them as is
So do
because
the
it
3
bounces
chunks,
around
but
to 70
don't bring
different
the
times.
8:30 down to 7:30.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, the 9 down to 8.
So it would be 9 would go to like maybe 8:30 or something. That wouldn't even make any sense.
Just leave
No,
it.
I would say just leave it.
So the June, the Memorial Day,
No,
July,
I
and
would-
August would be
it's-
9. From the beginning, it would be 9.
So
And then in September, 6 is okay, you think?
so June and July would be June would be till 8. The end of June through July would be till 9. And then that whatever that weekend switch right there, where all of a sudden on this schedule for 2 weekends for whatever reason it went till 8:30, that could just stay at 8.
Okay.
And then it would
Oh,
be
we're switching a lot now.
no. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
If you just.
I think she dropped it a half hour because it starts to get darker
Pick it
earlier
by a
then.
month, like do June till 8, July and August till 9, September till 6, October till 4, I don't know, it just seems. so
I
much
agree.
easier
I
to
think
do
what they
it
were
for
trying to
one.
do, the reason why the hours look like that is they were trying to chase actual
sun.
dusk, like
Yeah.
stay within that same period. And that's what, when you look at it from that perspective, it makes sense.
It does, but I think we should do an even hour, not an 8:30 for 2
Some
weekends.
places will say dusk as they're closing. They don't give an hour, it's just.
Yeah.
That's not good for the boat ramp.
But I think our,
Look at the sky, where's the sun? There you go.
I think our guests
Debatable.
might push the definition of dusk.
Yeah, it's
I would
arbitrary.
agree.
It is
Yeah.
arbitrary. So
It's a
I
half
think
an
I
hour
think it
after the
needs
sun
to be-
sets.
but I
Yeah.
think it
Sun
needs to
sets
be
at 6:53.
So, so
Yeah.
you can say
So
it's not
it's-
arbitrary.
7:23, you're
Yeah.
done.
Exactly.
It's always the trouble at the drive-in, it starts at dusk,
Yeah, I know.
and you're just waiting.
You pull in there and it's like, doesn't start dusk. It starts 2 hours after dusk.
Same with fireworks.
checking, we can also, let's check with Kristen too.
I did
Some of
today.
the other things and say, hey, I just said to her, when were most of the boats out last year? Just to
Okay.
see what she remembers, what she's
The problem is, yeah, it's one boat that wants to stay
Well,
later.
what-
They're
so
gonna
what
push
I,
it.
what I thought, so this is what I have written down is Memorial Day and all of June till 8 p.m. And then once summer really starts, July and August, do it till 9. And then once kids go back to school, I mean, is till 6 p.m. unreasonable for
I don't think so. Because it's
Labor
mostly
Day
weekends.
And then it
Yeah,
goes
sports start
to
back up.
4 o'clock. Is 4 o'clock too early?
It's been
for
4 o'clock.
The middle of September to the middle of October.
So I think we need to do the 2 things before we finalize it. Is 1, to look at the budget, and 2 is,
Talk to Kristen.
talk to Kristen and see what time.
Yeah. We could even, if it makes sense and we just need to cut some hours, we could even start it open at 11 a.m. instead of 10 or something. But
I don't know.
but that's only an hour. It's terrible to have to try to
You wanted people to.
make this work
Mhm.
within the budget in order to only keep 2 people on staff.
And that's not accounting for lifeguards.
And it's not accounting for lifeguards at all. So. Anyway. All
I
right.
think we'll need to wait until we see what the budget is.
Yep. So.
Good thought.
Well, at least we know where we can make changes.
Yeah, if we need to.
If we need to.
Yeah, and we could also say, geez, it got, we had amazing weather and it didn't rain at all, so sorry folks that were closed the middle of September. We're done. If that's what we have to do.
What were the numbers for September anyways?
If anybody asks, that's
I only
why.
have,
Where did you get these?
Do they log people that already paid
Meeting.
as well?
No.
no, it won't tell me, it'll only tell me when they got their season pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll never know.
It's not how
Yeah.
Never
many
know.
people came and used their
Oh,
season pass,
well,
it's only the number
I
of
think
passes
we need
sold.
to have them do that this year.
That would be
Yeah,
nice,
so
so
we
we
can
Traffic
can,
count?
Total
better.
guest.
Yeah.
We need a total guest every day.
Yep.
Count.
yeah,
So
have
we
your
know
regular
what-
That
rallies.
way they have to actually get up and count the number of guts in the
Yes.
car?
No,
Yeah.
we
They'd have
come
to
in.
sit
When
there.
they
come
when
in.
they wave,
Doesn't
when they
even take
wave,
5
come
minutes,
in.
when
yeah.
they wave a sticker, they
5.
have to put a check,
Yep.
put a
4.
tally down.
So we need to know at
3.
8:30, are there 17 people or is there one person?
Every
Yeah.
30
You
minutes.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, are we having them also do receipts this year too, so they can just write it on the receipt?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if they're not buying if they've already bought their pass,
They're not
they're
gonna
not
get a
come back
receipt.
the next day.
That's what we
Yeah.
wanna
don't
know,
have a
how many
record of
people
it.
use the lake,
Yeah.
including pass owners.
Yeah.
So
Because,
that we know when we
For
should be
staffing.
closing. If nobody's there.
so
West
now,
End,
boats can't get a season pass. Oh yeah, they can, boats
Yeah.
can get a resident,
residents.
But they
but
have to
that's
have
for
a
the
pass.
day. Boats, there's no seasonal, right? It's the day. There's no seasonal for a boat.
There
No,
is.
For the season. You buy
Uh,
one
For a
boat
resident,
pass.
I thought season.
Yeah.
resident boat pass, $20.
Yeah, that's for the year.
Resident boat pass,
That's the day.
okay.
And they have-
Non-resident, okay,
But they also
They
have
were
to have a
the
pass.
Wear
Non-resident
Yacht
is
Club
just
would not be
a day.
paying $20.
Okay, gotcha, that's a season pass. So why would somebody buy, well, I guess,
Maybe they bought a new boat.
the end of September, beginning of October, we sold
Got a
one
good deal on it,
season
wanted to
boat
drive it.
pass.
Right, so
We need to talk about putting the job out there, posting the job.
Yeah, we need to
starting
talk about the
second
job
applications.
description.
Were you able to tell the person anything that asked about hiring at the lake?
I said to go ahead and put in an application.
At the town, they have applications there? Okay. All right.
Is that the person that inquired on Facebook?
Yes.
Somebody, yeah. We did this, Janine, I
I
saw
just
the
linked
post.
to the Ware Park page. I know that Tara's in the know.
Yep.
She knows what to say.
So we usually
So
post it
it's
on
great.
Facebook. We post it on the board up by the old town hall.
Oh, who does that?
We have to ask for time.
Yeah, ask Naomi. I think Naomi's
Yeah.
the one who runs that this time.
All right, so now hiring.
Got to reserve a spot.
Send something to the career employment, whatever thing at the high school.
Town hall sign.
And
High school
where New Hampshire is
career.
publishing again, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
Where in the world? Where in the world? Do you know who's doing it?
Kristen said that if we closed at 8 and obviously at 7:30 would cover most boats, and she said yes. So most of the boats were off the lake last year by 7:30.
Okay.
Well, we have a
Most.
default. We have a default then if the budget's not increased.
Yeah.
And if people whine and complain, then you go vote.
Yeah.
Where in the world?
I know that.
Website. But are we gonna, what are we gonna, are we gonna post the job description?
Yeah, we should. Yeah. They should know what they're applying for.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think the thing that you wrote that we
Yeah.
said looked good, did we all finalize that with the email?
Yes.
Job description email?
Okay. We good with the job
They
description?
usually Naomi will help us with that, I believe,
Yeah.
I think Lisa and
because we'll
came
put
up
it
with
in
a
Goffstown.
good thing, and we kind of all talked it out, and it seemed to make sense.
People are gonna ask per hour. That's gonna be the biggest
The-
question they wanna know
right.
per hour.
Well,
Is
we
it
can't do-
$7.25? That's minimum wage.
We can't really give an answer right now without knowing what the budget is, you know,
Well,
and
okay,
I
we
hate,
can't pay less than $7.25
well,
legally.
that's right,
So we can say $7.25
and up.
if, and up,
And up.
because, well, that's true.
Depending on experience or.
Yeah.
Yeah, like lifeguards make more and
Right, in
yeah,
position,
returning, okay.
returning staff.
Staff makes more.
And everyone is,
They all have to reapply.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Everybody
Karen-
has to reapply.
everyone has
Karen
to
had
do
that and then.
Which it would have to do at
Yeah.
any normal
Are we saying
job.
everyone other than the supervisor?
Everybody reapplies.
So does.
I mean,
Kristen have to reapply too?
I think technically she does. So like every year, I'm a
It's like a
manager
yearly
at Pat's Peak.
contract thing.
Every
Okay.
year I have to
Okay.
reapply for my manager
that makes
position,
sense.
even
It's
though they know I'm
seasonal.
coming back.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that does, because we have to submit it all to the board
It's
of
not,
selectmen.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like we don't
Okay.
want her.
So do the return, so that's.
We're not gonna
different than in the-
advertise her job.
That's
She has
different
to
than
re-
in the past, so, we need to contact those returning people to let them know that they need to re-interview,
I
because
wonder,
that's typically not what they're
she,
used
no,
to.
Okay.
she didn't say, no, she didn't say it was different than the past, she didn't interview them, I think they had to apply though.
No.
Really?
No.
Because she, right here,
They have to fill out an application every
they
year
have to fill out
though.
an application, Because in here, she specifically said.
Oh, maybe they did, and we never saw them though.
Probably.
And then we're gonna.
Yeah, I don't
interview
think she
them.
just showed them, I just don't think she showed
Okay,
them.
so maybe they did.
All right, if you determine you need additional staff at Chase Park due to decide not to return, get the word out soon. This is April. Put it on the website, town hall sign, our new sandwich boards, are we allowed to stick those out somewhere?
Yep. We usually put them out at the gazebo
Okay, our sandwich boards, and let the high school know.
and chain them to the pole.
The high school email is mandy.fraser, Fraser,
Mandy with a Y or an I?
FRA.
SER,
SER.
Mandy with a Y, at SAU24.org. She is the futures coordinator.
Okay.
This is Martha Burks.
All right,
email.
so she wrote right here, capital well, we wanna do a couple weeks before the opening to chlorinate the well
Mhm.
at the park. All right, Chase Park
Okay.
staffing
Thank
needs to
you.
be firmed up by May. If new kids are needed, set up a night or two for interviews at the town office. Get a list of names, new kids and returning kids. Get it to the Board of Selectmen meeting before Memorial Day weekend so that you can officially hire them. So you need to know returning kids. If you have no staff to run Chase Park, this weekend's a busy weekend. Yeah, we saw that, it was pretty busy.
So do you have contact info for other returning? To find out?
I have.
We have always tried to give
the
any returning staff
names.
members a 25-cent raise of what they made last year, best
The
to give
names,
the
not
raise of what they
contact
made last year.
And we have notes on. We have notes on everybody, but if they want to, they just have to reapply. It doesn't
Chase
matter.
Park needs to be de-winterized. Have the
And I'll
water
put that on the
system turned
Facebook
back.
page that all new and returning staff need to submit applications by.
And interview.
And
Yeah.
interview.
No, just,
Well, no, need to submit applications and all, and even returning staff. And even if you were there
everybody
last year,
needs to
you'll be interviewed.
resubmit an application. And we're not gonna say if you're gonna be interviewed, because
Yeah.
we may just say, for an application.
Yeah, you cannot get
Yeah.
the boats launched before the water is back up. Usually means you can only open up the weekend before Memorial Day weekend, because she said she used to get personal calls to get their boat in the
Oh,
water.
so someone else say
For
sorry.
the
Won't.
residents as soon as they
Low-
could.
low
And
level
she
isn't.
would, she was meeting them personally at the gate to let them
Yeah.
in. She'd like set up a time
Yeah.
to let them in the boat ramp. We always try to be open one day before the holiday weekend so that the landowners could get their boats in the water before the holiday.
Okay.
Like literally before it's open to the waterworks. They kind of
Yeah.
got a first.
Well, I mean, you could just, yeah, whether you just do an 8 to noon thing and you just have 2 people down there and just,
Well, Karen used to set up like a time, like she had a schedule.
Because how many
Last
boats
year we
can you
scheduled.
have? Only one
Yeah.
boat can use the ramp at a time, so you
Right.
don't want 7
And you need at
waiting.
Right, so you
least
didn't have to sit
15 or
there and
20 minutes.
And they did it
They
during
didn't put it out.
training for the staff, so they
I
could
would not recommend all.
they could
unlocking
physically
bathrooms
use people
without
coming in with
staff.
boats to train them what to do.
Yeah. Checking them.
Yep.
Checking votes.
So 2 birds, 1 stone.
We should see if we can't get someone to play like mean guy.
Oh, once
It's a
the
wicked
weather-
good
We'll
idea.
throw some grass on the back or something.
Well, we
Yeah.
Cleaning my
We
boat.
left the gate open no matter what, because she said once the weather starts to get nice during,
really
even
good
though we're
idea.
in school, she leaves it unlocked, just keep the boat ramp locked.
Okay.
So people can swim and park in the parking lot,
Oh,
even
so
though we're
that's-
not staffed yet
Right.
during
Yeah.
school.
Yep.
That's fine.
She just lets people swim in there.
Yep.
Yep.
And sometimes the bathrooms are open and sometimes they aren't. It's kind of up to us, I guess.
she-
Locked.
she kept them locked. They were basically, if they wasn't somebody in
And
the,
she wrote in bold, I would not recommend unlocking the bathrooms
Yep.
until it's staffed.
Correct.
Good call.
Even when it's staffed, it's a little rough.
8th grade field trip out on the lake in June. They
I'll
would
be
like to
sending-
swim lines.
Yeah, I will be sending a request, a form for that. I have to find out what day they're actually going.
So the swim lines would be out. That would be
they do those, I thought they did those the weekend
Memorial Day.
before Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
as
June.
soon as the
so they-
water's up.
Oh,
right?
speaking of Chase Park,
Yes,
um,
we are
Yeah,
speaking
it's
of Chase
been
Park.
for-
So
The base-
Chuck
the
used to bring
baseball
his boat
team-
in to do
Yeah.
it, and he'd get his free
Oh,
I thought they were
membership.
coming
Shut up.
tonight.
yes, the baseball team, because Karen's son was on the team, used to do it. And Dennis goes, I don't know who I'm gonna get this year. I'm like, I'm on the Parks
So
board.
this
And
is
he
the
goes,
high school baseball.
so it's the high school baseball
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
We'll come in, they do cleanups. So the thing you need to set up is where you want the picnic tables. They actually moved all the picnic tables last year and
Nice.
set them out because having last year had to carry all those picnic tables back and put them under the cover. Use the strong young lads to put them where you want. So go down wherever you want them, basically put them in, and if you have a list, he'll give you an hour and a half of time. So I will send Dennis your information and you his, and you guys can.
Hire them to come back in the fall and put them.
I was going to ask Dennis.
Because that we can give them service hours.
That's what they do it for.
No, I was gonna ask Dennis.
Right, I understand, but.
Well, he does
They're
the.
not together in the fall because it's not their season. They're playing football.
But
or
I could
soccer
see-
or
Still a
whatever.
team.
But I
You
could
can
also.
ask another one.
I am also going to see, because he has the field hockey girls,
Oh.
whether the girls need a program that they need service hours that we can say, hey, look, we need help taking stuff down. Because last year, pulling all the lines in and everything else like that, she had she had everybody there and was paying money last year to have them, when you could have an entire team there just helping pull lines in and things like that. Because you don't need a boat to pull the lines in. Literally, we sat there on the beach and just.
Get the
The
bass,
bass
pull
fishing,
the
the people
lines
that
in.
do the bass fishing, they use Chase Park.
Oh, the tournament?
Yeah.
The winter.
No, the
No,
high
there's a
school,
team.
the high
The
school
high
bass
school has a
fishing
bass
team.
fishing team.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a lot of teams. It's pretty impressive how many teams they have.
They won.
Do they do equestrian at the high schools?
No.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, they do?
They do, yes.
Yes.
Yay, that's gonna be really cool.
Mhm.
At our high school?
Yep.
Such garbage.
Gilmet does it. I think
Nobody
is the
here owns
coach.
horses.
Voting night joke. Sorry.
Huh.
Such garbage.
Oh, that's right.
We should
I
be
wanted to
charging
put
them.
them.
We're on TV.
July.
So,
I know.
were we going to ask about setting up an email address?
Yes,
For
I
parks.
like
I
that
already
idea.
asked.
Okay,
And are they?
She said she was in charge and she could do that.
okay.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So-
But then
You
who's
can
gonna
have a
get?
million emails.
Who's gonna be able to check it every
I
day?
think we should have Lisa and Tara.
Why me?
Could you do the Facebook page?
All right.
So,
You're the communications coordinator.
yeah.
Am I?
Yes, you are. We just,
Okie dokie. Well, that takes me out of the running for president. Yeehaw.
there you go. We ordained you.
We're gonna give you.
July says survive all the issues that come up at Chase Park and enjoy the summer.
Woo!
Put on any concerts you have planned. That's all of July.
Any concerts you could play.
You know, instead of having concerts at the gazebo, well, I know the gazebo is like a nice thing, but ask people to come to Chase and play
That
in
would
the
be
evening.
That would be really
On the
cool.
lawn,
On
by
the
the
lawn.
bathrooms.
Yeah,
There might
Worth
not
a
be enough
try.
space.
you know.
No,
I
there's
wouldn't
space
do
in the
it.
bathroom.
Oh, that
Like
would
say
be
if you
so
do
fun.
two this summer and do
During the
one
week?
out here,
Yeah.
try one over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I like that
the
idea.
ch-
Or maybe not.
On the beach.
No, I like
well, no, the
that.
challenge is so you'd have to make it free to residents that night to park there,
If they did the, if.
That's
the-
fine.
Yeah, for a concert.
Why not?
and then be later.
Yeah,
And then you can
as
have
park
the
is
you
that
could
closed.
have
one-
the
that
Like
one-
six
hot
p.m.
dogs selling.
Everyone
in
after
your-
6 p.m. is free. That's a resident.
That one.
Yeah.
would
Come
be
listen to
for-
the concert.
Yeah.
Bring the food trailer.
We could do
People might check out the lake just because of that. They haven't
could do
been.
music on the beach. How amazing would that be?
That would be a
Get
summer
camping lights
series.
to
That would be
string.
awesome. Music on the beach.
Yeah.
Would we want to
Take
keep
that
it like to
imagery.
local artists?
Or how maybe on a Friday night it gets to stay open a little later if we need to. Then maybe I don't know.
Friday night concerts.
There used to be a stand there that sold food and candy.
Can you get a
Sandwiches.
liquor license?
What? No, I
You could
cannot.
do taps right on the.
I
No,
can't.
no liquor
Non-profit.
license.
Well, I'm a nonprofit.
That's where you make your money.
Drink for no profit?
Well, no, I mean, nonprofit.
We can have Pat's
serves
Peak set
you.
up a satellite.
Oh,
Bet we could make some money.
Yeah, they'll tell you how much you can make.
All right. Do we have anything else?
Are we all
Hold
set
on.
with getting what are we gonna do with the job?
I was gonna say you're good with
Who's
jobs.
doing exactly what with the job? Hiring.
I did have a conversation with Kristen earlier, a very brief conversation. So I think I'll do what Karen did, but I would like everybody to be aware of all applications. I think that's fair.
That makes sense.
I mean, who's posting what where? Like
Oh.
who's in charge of?
I'm gonna go to guidance at the high school,
Okay.
and can somebody else take over like the sign and the other sign and the
I don't know
website?
where the sandwich board is. Where's the sandwich board?
I think it's in here,
Is it?
Where is it? Where in here?
In a closet.
downstairs. No.
Ask Karen where the sandwich board is. If somebody
we
can
haven't
take
used
care
it
of.
since last time this year,
Wasn't
or
Karen
last
supposed
year
to-
this time.
We
She's
used-
supposed to bring it to trick or treat, and she didn't.
Oh,
No, we used
trunk or
it-
treat.
No,
She never brought it.
we used
Oh.
it at field day.
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
We had it on the road at field
Oh,
day.
Dave found them.
Oh.
You found the sandwich boards?
No.
Oh,
He
who
found,
you
they're coming in from voting.
Oh,
We'll have to accost them.
the results.
I think we'll need to get out of the way.
It's 9 o'clock. No, they're just gonna post them on the
Oh.
corkboard. They're not gonna talk in here, I don't think.
No, they
All
don't
right.
make it a formal
So,
announcement.
so do you have all the information you need for Facebook with what we emailed, or do you need something updated?
Well, I need to talk to Naomi about it
Yeah.
first.
Well,
Okay.
you finalize things with Naomi and then
Yeah.
let me know
If
what
you
you guys come
finalize
up
them
with.
with Naomi, she would transfer to the website person for you, right? If you leave
I'm
it.
not the website,
Right,
I'm the Facebook
she's not
page,
the
I have nothing to do
website.
with
Oh,
the
But
website.
Naomi, I
Right,
think
Naomi
she's next
can.
door to the
Yes.
website, so Naomi.
Okay.
So, is he going to find the sandwich boards in a closet somewhere?
I don't know.
Who's gonna contact where in the world? Would
I
you
can
wanna-
try, I just got the email from Pam, so I will contact them.
Okay, so, the town hall sign and the sandwich boards.
So I've got Mandy Frazier at the high school, and I've got Naomi, but I've got Naomi first about the job description, plus ask her to do the website.
Posted on the website.
And then as soon as you know, then let me know and I can do my
Well,
thing.
Naomi
Oh.
would be the town hall sign person too, right? Is that what you thought, Randy?
Hey, look.
To get the
Are you
time
Permission
slot,
to use
yeah,
the-
like the
Were you
week
looking
that
for
we
the
want to
sandwich boards?
display
We
it.
thought you were looking for the sandwich
Well,
boards.
you just got
We've been
it.
sitting there
So-
for 2 hours. You probably use the restroom.
All right, I can ask Naomi about
I've been
the
trying to
town
wait.
hall sign. You think Naomi knows what the sandwich boards are?
Ask Karen.
Maybe.
How is it that she's already posting in WAC that the thing failed? How has this come up?
Who does she know that works at the election polls?
She probably went
Connections.
down there after she was here and waited and got
Oh
the
no,
results.
somebody else knew. The results, she said she got it from another person.
Oh.
The results from Article 25 failed 1,008 to 515. So now we need to come up with Plan B. And it was funny because I was contacted by other people today that were like, "That
I can
we
do the-
did this already."
I can do the sandwich board and I can do the town hall sign.
Thank you.
Not tonight, obviously, but that piece of land you talked about that was behind the middle school, that wasn't any of the ones we looked at for possible fields.
Right, that's the brown,
There's a
there's,
cemetery expansion option or something?
Yep.
That would be interesting.
Still use
and
it.
it's between the cemetery and the gravel pit, it's not the gravel pit, I double checked with that.
Yep.
That would be interesting to learn more about.
Yep, so that's a
Um,
possibility.
Do we have anything else?
We needed, so we said deadline for
Don't tell Wes,
applications
'cause
is
they're
March
gonna go off on
31st.
their
Are we
own
giving
thing
people
again.
enough time? It's the 10th.
Well, we're going to meet. What day are we meeting on?
We didn't pick a day for
No.
interviews, or for us to look over.
We'll
reasonable-
say that it's March 31st. We'll push it.
Is that a good
I'll try to
deadline?
get it. I'll talk to Naomi tomorrow.
If you ask her about, okay.
Job
Do
descriptions.
you wanna talk to her
mandate
about
for
the town hall
applications.
signs? Since I'll talk to her.
Is everybody okay with the signs that I shared,
Yeah.
by the way?
Yep.
I
Okay,
never
then
opened
I'm
the
gonna buy
link,
those
but I
signs.
trust you. I didn't open
Are those the ones that I sent to you the last time?
It brought me to the
Some of them,
website and
yeah.
part with them.
The thing,
Even though
I don't know if
it's
it's the
logged
exact
in.
same ones. They're ones that I emailed out.
User failure.
I didn't get those, but if it's still, it has the
It
no
was the
smoking, no
whole mo-
vaping,
Yeah.
as long as they have the no marijuana, no nothing, basically.
Smoke your tires. Smoking nothing.
I like that.
We don't need extra rubber around here.
All right. Dennis Volunteer.
In Arizona, they actually put the
Field
rubber into the
usage.
asphalt.
I did check on the time clock. We need to get prices on that. So, here's another question that came up last time that I followed up on. Autumn Hills. Anyone in the tax book, per Naomi, can get the pass. So Autumn Hills has renters that have a camper place, like a seasonal thing. They are in the tax book.
Yes.
So
Which
they get-
which Kristen has, that's
Yeah.
what the kids
So
look
That's
at.
what we looked through.
So that means that their
Their residents.
vehicle
Only-
is registered and they would have a registration with that address.
No.
No.
No, that means they can show their name,
Property owner.
Then they will have a tax bill.
but their
Right.
tax bill goes, the address that the tax bill is sent to, I think, is in that book.
So it's only Autumn Hills?
Cold Springs
No,
has
Cold
it too.
Springs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cold Springs has it
So
too?
if they don't have it, if they're just there camping,
It
the
doesn't count.
answer is no.
Okay.
But
It's
if
for
they
seasonal,
have a
it's for
seasonal,
seasonal spots
yeah.
only
Yeah.
that show up. Because now there could be someone that just bought a seasonal,
And
and
we
it's
can,
not in the tax
well,
book
but-
yet.
They've
If they
got it,
show,
then they can
if
show up
they
with their
show
tax
paperwork,
bill,
right,
yeah.
if they show.
or they
the
can show up with their contract
Mhm.
from the
Something.
campground.
Now, all seasons isn't really
But the contract from the campground, I'd have to say that they own.
Autumn Hill, that's the other one. We have three.
Autumn
Cold Springs, Autumn
Hills.
Hill, and All Seasons. They all the
Yes.
same?
I don't know about all seasons, what they're, what they do.
Where's all
If they're
All
in the
seasons-
textbook.
all
They're in the
seasons-
textbook.
All
We're
Seasons
good.
is out towards.
If
All
they're not in the
Seasons-
textbook, they need to provide something from the
All
town that
Seasons
says that
people
they are
live year
taxpayers.
round.
Okay,
Oh,
It's like mobile homes.
all right.
Autumn
Um,
Hills is the
Are
one.
we all set?
And I don't have a check yet from, but I did ask for it from
Or
our
donation.
fall donation bake sale thingy.
oh, okay, we still haven't gotten it back?
Honestly, it's
It was
not a
supposed
rush.
to be, yeah.
Okay, all right, it's not a rush.
Yeah, because
Okay.
We won't know until after the school board meeting in March.
Oh,
I've called
okey-dokey.
and asked. I called today and left a message because they have not responded to my emails about what happens to the $1,500 that we have invested in trips if you cancel. And I get it if they need to
It's
cancel.
happened in the past and they lost it, not with the middle school, but with the high school.
Yeah, but-
You can't,
Yeah.
and I called, you cannot add the insurance. You had to have added the insurance
They're-
before.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are looking at, I don't know details, but they are looking at all options, but we will not know until after the school board meeting.
And I did hear one of the options would be that parents would be allowed to take
Next,
their kids.
Wednesday.
okay.
To the same trip, just not
To
with
the
that
same trip.
transportation.
So there wouldn't be so if something did I've heard that one of the options potentially could be that.
Do we want to stop and go off camera?
Yes, we do. And I want to mention something
Well,
on camera.
yeah, and this isn't. Oh, we're talking
We can adjourn the meeting.
for
Yes.
what we own still.
Yeah.
Or are we now solely on the trip itself?
We're on the I think we're on trip.
Oh, not
So
that
it's
Park
not
is rec,
parks
it's not
related. We
Park.
do
It's
have
not
one last
parks.
order of business before we adjourn.
Yes.
Okay.
What-
We
oh
need to
yeah.
figure out who wants to be the chairman.
Can't be me,
Not me.
If Janine's gonna be chairman,
Communications coordinator.
I would,
chairwoman, I guess.
yes.
Chairperson.
Chairperson.
So do we
That's fine.
nominate Janine?
We would have to make a motion.
Don't we have to make a motion to accept his resignation first?
No, it's actually
We
expires
can actually
today.
just say no.
Or this month.
Oh.
Yeah, because he wouldn't make it to the April meeting.
All right, so I make a motion to nominate Janine.
I
I
second.
second it.
Oh, you can second it.
I would like to second that motion.
All in
All
favor?
those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Do I get to vote or do I have to abstain?
No, you can vote.
No, you probably can't. You probably have to abstain.
Really? You can vote for yourself.
No, you can vote for yourself.
You can vote for yourself until she's president.
Yeah,
Even when you're
I didn't
president.
make it yet, so no.
You can do it in the election, so.
Yeah.
So unanimous vote. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
You're now
Madam
the
Chairwoman.
chairwoman.
Thank you
I
for
expect
your years of
a 7-page
service.
list of what you do when, no.
Dave, did you want
Motion
to be
to
vice
accept
chair?
Randy's
Because
resignation.
Janine was vice
I
chair.
was vice chair.
Would you like to
I'll
speak?
nominate Dave to be vice chair.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Dave, what's your position on that?
Oh yeah, you didn't have a
Oh.
position.
I'm good.
Opposed?
I'm good.
Nay.
Abstained?
Yes, no, I'm
You
fine.
have to make a vote.
Yes, I voted. I said
Okay.
that's fine.
First,
Okay.
yeah, he voted yes.
All right.
Unanimous.
Can we're gonna adjourn and
Who
can you turn off the
accepted
cameras?
Randy's resignation?
We don't,
We don't even have.
We don't have a
We don't
choice.
get to.
it
Oh,
just
Randy
expires.
expired.
I expired. That sounds bad.
Oh man, you don't expire.